Hey guys. Jesus, Bundro, don't kink shame.
We're ready.
I just like to sit on a couch, on a leather couch specifically, rubbing it slowly.
And the ass of his jeans are cut out.
My jeans is cut out.
So?
Don't fucking kink shame me. Doesn't hurt anybody. This looks like it's actually a thing. We were talking about earlier how like PlayStation has not hyped this up in any way like they did in previous years. They acted as though it was just like, and then we're gonna just talk some devs before the show starts.
Yeah.
But this is a true
Well,
opening ceremonies, it looks like.
Feels like it. Hi.
It's a PlayStation montage.
Oh yeah, they do it best.
I have a lot of work to do for tomorrow's show trailer, it looks
Yeah,
like.
babe. Sundays.
Sunday! Oh shit, yeah, I'll just do nothing tonight then.
Yeah. That's for future Brash to worry about.
Oh, they do have couches set up. So even though it's not a little stage show with couches, maybe it's a big stage show with couches. This might still be boring. We'll see. We'll see. So they show, anytime I see footage of like Uncharted, the Lost Legacy, or the new one
Yep.
with the girls,
Yep.
or any Uncharted footage, it's like, yeah, this looks like a fun movie. Whoa, what the hell was that? What was that baseball thing with the cartoon over that guy's face?
It looked like it was like MLB for a second.
Yeah, but then it wasn't.
Yeah.
Anyways, but the game does such a bad job, those games, I feel like, of making any action moment feel like it matters. There's just so much. I don't know. Yeah, exactly,
I get what
Palette.
you mean.
It looks great, and any individual scene looks like a real blast. Until you play it and those scenes are like hyper stacked all throughout, and you're like, I'm falling again.
Yeah.
Oh no, will I make it? Will I make it this time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Spoiler alert, you will make it. Wow, this is, what is this song? It sounds so much like, what's her name?
Kiss.
Well, yeah, any of the old rock. Looks like Sony hasn't cut Detroit. What do you mean, cut? From this show? Where'd you find a schedule? Yeah, it sounds
I
a
did
lot
see
like
it in
AC/DC.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sean Layden and Sid Schumann.
Sorry, bud. Hey, Sid. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you could join us here, PlayStation Experience. Thank you so much for coming. Sean.
Is this a furniture convention?
I think we're going to play a game. We're going to kind of move our way back and forth across the different segments here.
Right, and hopefully ending up with those nice postmodern gray office chairs. This is awesome. Yeah.
In all seriousness, folks, it is unbelievable to be here again at another PlayStation Experience.
Well
So excited to
met.
have all of you here. I really
It's
give
hard.
yourselves a round
I
of
know.
applause for joining us here.
I poke fun. I've been on a stage. I've been on stages. It's hard to like
Wow.
find the dynamic
fourth
when you start a
fourth
show.
And
Yeah.
I can't think of a better way to close out this highly memorable year
Yep.
than with my friends. So thank you so much.
You gotta
Yeah,
turn up
thanks for coming,
the
everybody. Really.
Yeah, it's
exposure
incredible.
on this one camera.
Yeah.
And Sean,
I feel like that.
it's been a
too.
heck of a year.
Wow, hasn't it been just? It's been a crazy year, 2017. I think we saw a lot of great game releases. Any Uncharted fans out there?
Wow, I like that Sean Layden has imperfect
So,
teeth.
Lost Legacy was awesome. We're certainly proud and
So many
pleased with what
executives you see
our
with
friends
just
at
like
Amsterdam
these
pulled
like
together with Horizon
perfect.
Zero Dawn.
I miss his beard.
Yeah, his beard was awesome.
And then without telling anybody, just kind of slipped the Frozen Wilds out there.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do.
Sneak it out there. I mean, what's great too is the year got off to such an incredible start. Resident Evil 7, one of my absolute favorites this year.
Yeah.
If you haven't played that in PlayStation VR, you haven't
No,
played
it's
it.
too scary. It's too
Persona
scary.
5, Nier
I wanna play it.
Automata.
I want to keep playing it.
Yeah.
It was a good
Incredible
use of
year,
VR.
Incredible games. One of the strongest years game lineups I've seen in years.
My personal favorite, one of them anyway, is Everybody's Golf.
That's a terrific game.
Can we get some love for my golf game, please?
What's everybody's
Gravity
goal?
Rush 2. I
Gravity Rush
mean,
2, yeah.
we
Yeah.
could
Golf
sit here
game?
all night, literally
Okay.
listing all the incredible games that came out this year.
Right.
But we've got a little bit more in
We've
store.
got other things to do.
That's right.
Yes, that's right.
You know, I mean, I think it's such a special year, and I mean, then we had Paris Games Week. I mean, you know,
Went really well. We saw the reveal of Sucker Punch's new opus,
We should-
Ghost.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, that's going to be great. We saw some of that in the trailer right now, but there was a lot that happened in 2017, and we can talk about that, and we can share some of our memories of that with everybody here. But 2018 is going to be another tremendous year for PlayStation, both in PS4 and PSVR.
And we're going to talk a little bit about 2018 here tonight. We're also going to bring you closer to some of the world's top developers right here. I think it's something that makes PlayStation Experience unique and special. As you folks can be right here with us, all of our friends right here.
Thus, all the furniture.
All right,
And
so at
all
least
this
it's not
furniture
too
right here.
casual. Like
We're going to try to
it
build a
seems
super
like they have.
up here.
You can tell us what you think at the end, but I think we have a special night here ahead of us. We're going to have some old friends dropping by.
What an
Sean.
Yeah,
asshole.
we're going to have our group chairman, Andy House, is in the house.
That's right.
Yeah!
He'll be joining us later with our old friend.
We've got Andy
Mark
House here
Cerny.
from Andy's Houses.
PS4 system architect Mark Cerny's dropping by.
Right.
Are you guys fans of God of War?
That's
You like God
that's
of
a
War?
terrible fake laugh. You can't even do the.
Corey Barlow
Can you
from
do
Santa
it?
Monica Studio. He's going to come in and give us a development update here tonight.
How did
Right.
you want me to do it?
The he's outside with the meter running, but Corey's going to run in here,
You're a
do a
ham.
report, and then get right back to the studio and get that work done. And we're having Media Molecule.
Yeah, Media Molecule. Did you
Yeah.
guys check out the Game Awards last night? You see that new trailer?
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that was
Incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
they're doing great stuff.
We watched
We're also
it
going to take
together.
another look
I'm
at
practicing it now.
Genie here a little bit
Definitely.
later tonight. One we're all very, very excited
Yeah.
about. Another one we announced at Paris this year.
You guys just
So
did his little
we're gonna
Japanese
have some
apartment
updates on
going,
2018 games. We're going to take a peek or two at
and all of a sudden there's a
PlayStation
banging on the wall.
floor, which I know a lot of you are going to be excited to check out over the weekend. And there might be a surprise or two in store, Sean. What do you think?
I think there's more than a surprise or two,
right.
indeed. And we have some shots of that, and we're going to go to that now, or?
Yeah, so we got a big weekend here.
Okay.
And actually, one of the things I'm personally super excited for.
I think this
are the
is good
panels
having
we've
two
got
of them
going on
here.
It's a
tomorrow.
great lineup.
Really
Playing off each
killer
other.
panel lineup. I think the best we've ever had. I mean, look at this stuff here. We've got Naughty Dog doing not one but two panels. The cast of
Right.
The Last of Us 2 will be right here, right on this stage.
Last of Us
actually.
2
You'll be able to
cast?
see them. You'll be able to see all the Uncharted voice actors for the big 10-year anniversary. Sucker Punch stopping by, Media Molecule stopping
So how
by.
long is this
Super
show
excited
expected
that
to
Justin
go?
Roiland and William Pugh are going to be stopping by.
Oh, that'd be
Tonight or like
I can't
on
wait to see
panels?
what these guys are up to at the Counting Plus. So
I
it's
think they're
just a
talking
lot of
about
great
stuff for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I
Can we
think.
talk about that show floor?
Yes, the show floor. We were taking a look at that earlier today. It's like nothing we've done before.
Yeah, we have some photos, I think, too, if we could show
Oh, can we
some
put
of
this
those.
up on the
Yeah.
screen?
Days Gone. I mean, that's
Cool.
an experience right
Yeah,
there.
that
That's
was
fun,
fucking
right?
Yeah,
wild.
that's the entryway, so you're gonna have to find it.
It makes you want to kill a guy and string him up like that.
Oh, the ticklish.
Can't do that.
We'll find
Video
out
games are
tomorrow.
making me want to do these
Another
things.
one,
One of them is a real human. You have to find out which one that is.
another one I'm really excited about. It's incredible. Shadow of the Colossus. Wait till you see this.
You guys are
What they
excited
get
for
to do,
that.
Sean.
So what you get to do, this is one of the key colossi from the game. You will be able to climb up the back of it and put that sword right into the center of his head. It's the thing you've wanted.
Oh,
to do
that's
when you-
fucking
Ah,
cool.
That's
tomorrow
awesome.
at the show.
Oh man, that's so cool.
Shit.
Also spoilers. Now I don't know how to
Biggest show
win
we've
against
done
that
yet, so I
Colossus.
hope you all check it out tomorrow and let us know what you think.
That's
Got a lot of
fun.
PlayStation VR here. I know not everyone gets a chance to go on.
I
with
wonder if
this.
they'll bring that to
This is
PAX.
the Inpatient.
The impatient is here.
The Inpatient.
And-
Super
Oh, I wonder if they'll
That was
reuse
nice of
it.
Yeah,
Oz
man.
To sit in the wheelchair like that.
Yeah.
We found out that
you
the
would be taken
reason that
into this
you know, like,
experience via
it
wheelchair,
actually
and you
costs
have a
more for a lot of setups
silent,
for apparently for
experience, just like it
like
is in the game.
presentations to ship shit than it is to build it
It's
again.
incredible. So
It's not for the faint of heart.
Isn't that nuts?
Do with all that stuff.
around 80 playable
Burn it.
PlayStation VR experiences here over the weekend. And so
Get
lots to
some-
see and
get
do on
some
the
2
PlayStation
4s
VR
and
front.
burn it.
Actually, Sean, speaking of PlayStation VR,
Right.
I believe we do have a new
2
PlayStation VR
4s?
game to reveal
Like
here
drink some
tonight.
beers
Yes,
and
we
burn
do.
it.
And
Yeah.
I think it's really important. that
It's the guy sitting in the middle of the convention after everybody's left. He's just like burning
Tossing
it.
shit on.
Whole building's filling up with smoke.
And have a gaming experience like that. You'll never really know what it's like. So please, for the next couple of days, get in there and do that.
Give it to homeless
Because
to
we have
live
a
in.
new game we're announcing tonight. Called
Yeah,
Firewall.
auction it.
Firewall 0 Hour, I think is the full title. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, here we go. This is the first gameplay we're seeing of Firewall. Now, this is actually from the folks at First Contact Entertainment. They're serious shooter developers. This is a team-based 4v4
Oh, it's this
tactical
game.
first-person shooter. So, attack and defense on the two teams.
It's a
looks-
VR game. Okay, that's why it looks so janky.
Tense
I get it. All right.
motions and movements. It's the pacing is very realistic. Peeking around corners
We did
here,
not
we're gonna
know it
see
was
some
a
of that here
VR
in the
game
footage, but
yesterday.
Just a very early sneak peek for all of you here. Firewall is coming to PlayStation VR. You'll be able to use either a DualShock or your PlayStation VR aim controller if you've ever picked up one of those with Farpoint or something like that. So this is looking mighty promising, I gotta say.
Oh, it's incredible. It's so tense to be in that four on four, trapped in the room, throwing flashbangs and trying to clear rooms out of enemies.
Yeah, this is one we've been wanting to tell folks about for a while, and I know people who have tried it have really come out raving. So
And it's on the floor.
that's right. It's on the floor here. You'll be able to play it this weekend, 4-on-4, Firewall. And it will be exclusive to PlayStation VR. So excited to see that. So, Sean, what else do we have on the VR front? Anything else?
We have a gift. And a year ago, we launched one of my most favorite games, The Last Guardian. Any Last Guardian fans?
If he's saying gift, do you think it'll mean that he's gonna these gifts that they're calling them during this conference? Do you think there'll be free things for PlayStation?
I think so.
So we were able to ship it last year around this time. And in the meantime, Ueda-san and the group have come together, and they've made a VR experience based in the world of Last Guardian, where you'll be able to go in there and experience that with Trico.
No way.
And moving across a level. It's probably, 15, 20 minutes of gameplay. But we'll be putting that up on the PlayStation Store.
December 12th here in the U.S. and Europe.
And that's our Christmas present to everybody. So please go get it.
Next
Download
week
that.
it's free.
That's
It
cute.
is actually a standalone experience.
Trico petting.
Yes.
You don't need to
Yeah.
actually own The Last Guardian either, so if you've got
He
PlayStation
said 15 to
VR,
20
you
minutes,
can get
but you know
The Last
15 to
Guardian
20
VR
minutes
demo.
is at least
Yeah,
just
seeing a
petting
little footage
Trico.
here.
Yeah. Just
Sean, do you think Trico's
Well, don't show it.
feathers are more plush and downy in VR?
Well, I think you can only rub them one way. But yes, plush and downy would be one way to call it.
Yeah, there he is,
There, and you'll be able to call her.
our fine feathered friend.
Yeah. It is, it's something else. It really is. So please, make some time during the next couple of days and get in and try this. And then on December 12th, go home, download it, and
play it.
enjoy for Christmas.
that's
Nice
really
stocking
neat.
stuffer there. So that's the Last Guardian VR demo. Coming out next
It
week.
felt like I was
Right.
really there.
Yeah, that's VR.
That was so cool.
You did VR.
There's more.
There is more. There is more.
We like to go back from time to time and look at some of our classic catalog games that we have, because we believe that, a great game is always a great game. And sometimes you have to refresh and bring them back on new platforms, because sadly you can't go out and buy a PS1 and play it. So what we have here is we've taken a game we delivered last year. We brought Wipeout back, and now we're going to bring out Wipeout VR.
Yeah, let's check out the trailer.
So Wipeout's coming back. I know that's going to excite a lot of you. I didn't play it when I didn't own it or play it, but I do remember seeing it a lot. I think I may have played it in a store or something. But Wipeout VR is coming.
I wonder how this translates to VR. Because you're moving around so much whenever you're doing games like this, it's nice to have something stable in front of you. I guess that's what this is for.
But Wipeout was on water, wasn't it? This looks like more like F-Zero. Or am I confusing something? 2048?
That fucking long?
That's bullshit.
I'm not waiting that long.
Now this will be an update.
It was
You'll
Hover
download
Things? I was thinking
your
of
copy
Wave Race.
Wi-Fi.
Well, I didn't play
And
either.
This will add the VR capabilities to
Why would they even
to the
announce
game.
that right now?
You have.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks to the people who
disappointed
made
on
the
Air
connection and
Sickness
said
bags.
Wave
We
Race
can't
instead
give
of
you
simply
any
saying that's not
Yeah,
Wipeout.
and the free VR update
Yeah,
is coming early 2018, Sean.
yep.
That's
Yep.
right.
It's on schedule. It's on time.
I think a strong start so far to 2018. And I gotta say, I'm actually really getting fired up about
Wave Race
2018,
was for
because, I mean, we've got
N64. Oh,
Far Cry
Jesus.
5
I don't
coming
know anything
earlier
anymore.
in the year. Really excited for that.
Yeah. That looks great.
Shadow of the Colossus.
So
which-
is this new Wipeout a remake of the old one
all
in
playable on the
HD,
sofa,
or
and
do they
Shadow of
make
the
a new
Colossus is
experience
being
in
played on
VR?
PlayStation
Or is
4
it the
Pro,
old
and here You
tracks?
see that.
Yeah.
It is stunning.
Amazing.
Based on our play in
But before we get into all
Thumper,
the 2018
I know that
stuff,
that'll
because
be
we got
fun.
some more to talk about there.
I got a
kinda-
lot of chairs
Thumper
there.
Got a lot of
was
chairs
one of
here,
my
so
favorite VR
I wanted to
experiences,
revisit
definitely.
It was
what
amazing.
I think is 2017's biggest game.
That and Rush
So
of
please
Blood.
welcome Herman Hulst from Guerrilla Games.
What's Gorilla? I forget. Oh. They made this.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Herman Hulst.
I'm wearing a tall neck tonight.
A what?
A what?
Hey, Herman.
Is it?
Tall neck?
Oh.
Oh, tall neck.
Wow, we have a lot of family.
Yeah, we do. Big family. Yeah.
We love
How are you guys?
The one guy.
Herman, you're looking
Aw.
rested.
I don't like my family.
Taking my time.
Yeah?
I'm here on vacation for 40 hours.
Well, I mean, from my perspective, 2017 has kind of been the year of Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, it's clearly a humongous hit. I mean, people have fallen in love with this. It's a tremendously great looking game on PlayStation 4 Pro or on standard PlayStation 4. Nominations out the wazoo, and you guys just shipped the Frozen Wilds too. I mean, that's one hell of a year.
It's been a fantastic year. I mean, we worked on this game for 7 years, and then when you finally get it in the hands of you guys, and we hear about it, and we see people being so active.
Kojima and
It's
Gorilla
just
are working together? Oh, so
Yeah, and
basically
then we
they
got the
gave
Frozen Wilds,
Gorilla
which
to
just put out,
Kojima
too. I
when he
mean,
came
it's,
over?
A whole bunch of new content. It's
Is that what
wonderful to
happened? They were
see
like, these guys aren't doing
that
anything
size
anymore.
come
Here,
out the same
they're your
year as
team
a
now,
couple of games,
Kojima?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
And you know what? We actually just
So
started.
does
working on it
does
the week
Kojima-
after we shipped?
Oh, yeah?
So there was no preparation. There was no time for that at all. It was a good chunk of.
Where does he
content
work
that we
now? Is
made
it, he's
in,
still in
8,
Japan
9
though,
months.
right?
So it's been a busy year.
Impressive. So, given the fact the game is a huge hit,
Kojima and
what sort
Gorilla
of
are
surprised
collaborating
you
on the
most,
engine,
in
making
terms
it
of fan
better.
reaction?
Okay.
Wow, there's been so many surprises on this. on
You
this
thought Frozen
project.
Wilds was pretty okay?
I would say the.
I heard someone else say that it was
from
good.
the audience. I mean, we've had such amazing responses. We got this. Actually, this is a mail that Sean.
One of the
forwarded
things
on
that
to
kind
me
of like
from,
made me fall off playing
from the president of one
Horizon
of
Zero
the
Dawn,
game
besides
studios. He
that
had
I didn't like the
$4.
find the story
He just
compelling or the
sent us a note
characters,
that
was
his daughters, young girls. They rearranged the furniture in their home so that they could practice like Aloy, because it was a character that
Rock
for
on.
the first time
That's
actually
cute.
looked like them. And it's these kind of responses, or it's the cosplayers that
That's cool.
so many of them they've come out to the studio. They've kind of become.
Was that it was
super
too
fans.
easy?
They invest so much
Except
in
for
it.
when it was too hard.
The sheer amount of time.
It was
that
like-
people
Is there a
spent
difficulty
in the
scale? I
game.
forget.
Yes, you can turn up the
Some
difficulty,
people
but
have
all the
spent
difficulty
some
does
weeks
is
just,
like increase the
not
HP
taking
bars,
snaps, 'cause it actually
which was really
requires
frustrating.
pretty much professional
Right.
photography.
So
So
it
it's
just made the
actually
battles
the
longer,
extent
and
of
like
that kind of feedback
I
that's
think it
been
also increased how much damage they do to you though. So like it made it just tedious in the hard mode instead of a better challenge. It just felt like, and plus you get to restart the battles. Like you get to restart as much as you want. You can save anytime and restart at any time.
Right.
So it was like, where's the challenge here? And there was no challenge. I felt like
They added ultra hard mode.
You aren't allowed to change
because, well,
after
it's a single
selecting it.
player.
Well,
So once you're on ultra
what does that
hard,
matter? I don't ever change it after I select it. What does ultra hard mode do? Give them even bigger
I think
HP
it's
bars
fair
and make
to
them
say
do
it's
even
sort
more
of-
damage to
It
you?
seems like people still want them. What do you think?
I've answered that question right there.
I think they're dead, man. No, you know, the strange thing is it's by far our best-selling game, and it's the first solely single-player
What did they
game
do
that
before
we've made
this?
in a long time. I don't really get
Guerrilla
the debate that much.
Games.
To me, when you're...
It gets rid of your ability to see your health. Oh, that sounds really tedious and annoying.
Killzone.
Narrative experience.
Oh, yeah,
and there is
Killzone.
no other way, really, than having that single-player experience. So there will always be a market for that. It's hugely important.
Especially in a world
Kojima
as
goes from
unique
Tokyo
and
to LA, I
exotic
think.
and
First
interesting
class.
as Horizon Zero.
There's like your
The
whole game
characters
budget right there.
interesting and unique as Aloy. So
You don't want to be interrupted. You want to be in that magic spell
Yeah.
and stay there. And,
Oh,
and
first
that's
class.
why sometimes a single-player game can be the best option.
absolutely, couldn't agree more.
Maybe one
Herman,
day we'll
you're
be
gonna
first
stay with us
classers.
here tonight, and we're gonna have some other folks dropping in. Thank you so much, Herman.
Horizon
Horizon.
also had grinding.
Only narrative-based single-player
Because
game
even if you
PlayStation's
didn't
focused
think
on
that
right now.
leveling was a grindable
Anyone
experience, because
interested
it was
in a
quick before, like,
small,
it didn't take long before you weren't getting enough
handcrafted
experience to
artisan
get
franchise by
any
the name of
higher
God
up.
of
You
War?
were still, you could technically grind, but it would take way too long.
Yeah.
But the one way you could grind was
Okay, well,
stocking up
in
on
that
an
case,
insane amount of
how
health
about we
items.
welcome Corey Barlog.
Just
He's a creative
always going
director at
around
Santa
doing
Monica
busy work,
Studio.
collecting herbs. And it's like, that's grinding in a way. Like, if you go into a battle without health items, you're crazy compared to the person who spends 2 hours collecting herbs before their battles. And for me, that's not fun. That's not a fun challenge.
I
That's
love
just
grinding.
how much time do you have to waste in your life to collect herbs?
Oh man, so much time.
Geared of War.
I really, 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 really hope.
And you
this
can buy herbs and health. Well, that's even worse. It's just, But again, even if with those problems, I would have kept playing it if I found the story
Corey Barlog,
interesting.
Great to see
Right.
you again.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Here.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to cut to the chase on this one. Can we get a little bit of a status check on God of War? How's that one coming along?
Jesus, Sid, no kind of run-up in...
No.
No foreplay, just right to it. Fantastic. It's going really good. We are in a final phases right now, doing a lot of play testing. He's very
Yay.
excited. I'm very excited.
There's people who dream of being that guy
Oh,
one day.
God, yeah.
To scream out and get acknowledged by somebody on stage.
Yeah,
I want a documentary that's done on people,
on that guy.
on that guy who goes to conventions.
We should go to conventions and then like interview them after, and then interview them like a
They're
month
still going.
later.
Don't encourage them.
Is that
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feeling confident, Corey?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, positive heckling
I'm
though,
feeling
right?
very
It's
good about
positive
things.
hecklers.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to.
The I love you guy.
Release
I love
it.
you too. That's
I don't
all I want in life is to be that
so
guy
I
one
don't
day.
have that right now.
Okay.
But I can tell you a little bit more about it. Right now, we are in the playtesting phases. In fact, this week we just finished up playtest. And over the last like 4 or 5 playtests we've been clocking in, I think the total gameplay time is somewhere in the arena of 25 to 35 hours.
Whoa.
Interesting. So
Huge game.
That's big. I mean,
He likes
Not as
it.
big as
get me a gif of that guy.
I mean, I gotta say, I was assuming it was in the maybe 10, 15, 20 hours.
Yeah, that's what I was telling
It's a
people.
face that says, I'm impressed, but give me more.
Oops.
What
As
else?
big as we expected. So, Sean, a question I've been wondering about. Corey obviously
So,
has a very
It
unique
sounds
vision
insane
of
when you
God of
compare it to
War.
previous
There's
God of
quite a
Wars,
shift from what we've
because
seen
God of
from
War
the
was a
last,
purely
six games, I think it is?
linear
Six games?
and
So
like,
what was it about Corey's pitch?
just fight guys get through.
Sold worldwide
This is
studios in
now a new God of War where it's like Tomb Raiders or Far Cry's where you're gathering resources, crafting items. So 25 hours might just mean that it's got the same amount of content as an old God of War game, but now it's got busy work. Not to say that the busy work won't be fun, but
Norse mythology books they have in the back room.
This is totally true.
And so when he took me through his vision for the game and really taking it to a new place,
I do wonder,
not only
like,
by,
how
by the
open
camera
world.
angle,
yeah,
but the storytelling
I
and the
wonder if it'll be
more
open world or
narrative-driven,
not.
I feel like
so,
it will be. What
like
was a game that was
brawler-driven
recently
kind of
like
game. I
this
thought
where
this is exactly the place where we need to take Some of
It
the
was
franchise.
limited.
You could
keeps it
compare it
true its
to
roots. It makes
Last
it
of
new
Us.
all over again.
Last of Us
Yeah,
didn't
that's
feel
what
like
was so
like a super linear. It was obviously linear, but
was
you got to
exactly
like
A bit loquacious like that.
you got to really take your time as you went
This is the
through
guy
the
who's
linear.
always
Maybe it's like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
guy who's
That's kind of what I picture.
He is way more relaxed.
Compare and
right?
contrast.
What are you still doing here, man? You gotta be. What's the book count?
Right. I'm getting texted right now.
Might be linear, but with very
So,
open
Corey, the game
maps.
is
Yeah, I could see that
bigger
maybe.
than I expected. I can say that based
Me
on what
too.
you've been telling me. It's large. It's
I mean,
large.
Tomb Raider's
So,
kinda like
in a
that
big
too,
world
right?
that,
Like,
how do you sort of keep a
Tomb Raider,
narrative? Like, how do you
you
stay on track with the
the
player?
newer ones you can hunt
Very,
as
very,
you
very
go through
carefully.
these
I mean,
segments.
playtesting
Yeah.
honestly has really.
But once
helped
you've
us
left
a
that
lot.
segment, you don't.
You can't
You're
go
not allowed to go
back.
back
How
to it.
we
I don't
keep the player
think.
focused. And one of the original things I was talking to people about.
So
was
maybe as you
treating
play,
the
it'll be
game
like, here's a good
tour
place to
bus.
hunt. Like,
So that you're in
we
this
should
massive
gather
world,
resources,
and we're
but
sort of
you can
rewarding
ignore
people
that
for
and just
being
run through to the
curious,
next spot,
and
or you can
can
actually
kind
spend
of
some
pull
time
the string to
hunting
get
and
off
setting
the
up
tour
camp.
bus,
Yeah.
Which the tour bus
Maybe it'll
is
do
the
that.
narrative in this
I'm only
story.
just guessing
And
here,
you
though,
can go
obviously.
Look around, check out
That's
the
kinda what
world,
I've been
but
picturing.
The bus is always a few steps away, no matter what you do. So it's kind of a fun exploration of the world.
The tour bus.
The boss
tour
is
bus.
always a
We
few
use the
steps
analogy
away.
of a theme park just around the corner here, Disneyland, for Making Horizon Zero Dawn.
Really?
Or a tour bus.
And that really was like a theme park.
It's a theme park.
It's amazing.
This guy's having a good time.
So-
Guerrilla Games.
Corey, since we got you,
He's
here, I wanted to
relaxed.
run through
Yeah.
the
He had a
latest
drink
gameplay
before he
footage,
came out.
actually, that we saw at Paris from God of War.
That's what they should have on
You
stage.
here,
They should have
you
drinks
can
right now.
add
It's 8
That's what
o'clock.
chat was
Some
saying.
information that
They're
we
like,
maybe
where's their
didn't have
beers?
Yeah,
So
it's
good.
8 o'clock. It's the opening of a fucking
ahead and roll
weekend
that.
show.
Go
Like,
ahead and roll that.
I'm gonna say
have
that
a couple
right away.
beers.
I was talking about playtesting. We were still building the system for the kids'
These are
ability
bottles
to
of vodka.
talk in game, the banter system.
if they instead of those bottles of
So,
vodka at their
Chris, in the
feet, those
game,
transparently
talking
bottles of
about, so when
vodka.
we made this video. I was dropping the audio in without us having play tested it. So I treat this video a little bit like it was a giant play test with the world. So we sort of discovered as we sent it out in a play test that was happening.
Yeah, and
almost
this
the same
stream
time
isn't
this was
kid-friendly
coming out, they
either,
were
so
like,
why
"Oh,
not?"
Man, he talks
Yeah.
too much. We need to
I'm
chill out a little
surprised.
bit." So
It was
it's
like
kind of a
how well
fantastic
they did this
realization.
kid. In the limited
This
footage
right
I've
here is
seen of
just-
him,
was
I
meant to
immediately
be a
thought I
little
was
bit
gonna
of
dislike him like I do
for
most
the
kids in all
multiplayer
games.
combat. Previous ones we had focused a little bit on
But
the
they made
story
him
and
kinda
the
like-
world, and this is kind of giving you that
Like
Well-
lame, but at the same time endearing.
Yeah, he
and all the encounters
is an
are really
asset.
going
Like,
to
he's
allow
knowledgeable.
the player to really
So
open
he-
up and use their own creativity.
He's clearly
and use
not
their
reason for him to
experiences,
be
like his dad.
using other characters.
Like he's a
against
little
each other.
wiener compared to his dad, but he's trying.
Yeah.
Very fun, and this is really just a area you find in the game. when
Plus, he
you're
sounds
around
like
exploring.
Kratos' biggest fan, the way that he
Yeah.
talks.
Sort of
That was
Oh,
amazing!
that's interesting. So it's kind of honeycombed with secrets and extra paths.
honeycomb. That's nice. I mean,
You like that? Yeah.
It's good.
Put that in the marketing.
It is absolutely honeycombed.
I didn't actually listen to that. He was, I think, talking about how the game is, how the areas are split up.
Because it
Maybe
was
you have
Halloween, right?
directional.
Just gotta scare the shit out of people.
Anything you can share about that particular ghoul?
That's the Revenant, one of the characters that we've introduced in the Lost Pages, and those are characters that
Wow.
are practitioners of Sather magic. And
Somebody
they've
fucking
been doing it for
painted
so
that.
long, they've kind of lost their.
Could you imagine being that talented?
human form,
No.
if you will?
I had to
Possessed
draw
by
a
the
Christmas
drug of
tree and I was
magic.
all
The
cranky
drug
about
of
it.
magic.
Right.
I would draw
It's honeycomb. Right.
nothing. All of those characters right there would have giant boobs.
I'm so good at this.
Could you imagine the same quality? That would be the best, is having that kind of talent and just drawing ridiculous shit that makes no sense. That people be like, wow, really get what the fuck is going on in this painting? How does someone with that much
I'm
talent
sure.
waste it drawing something so stupid? What's going on there?
History with
I'm
this
sure
title.
that
It
exists
really
somewhere.
is. Very tirelessly.
doesn't love drawing
we
boobs?
are constantly getting feedback from our playtesters, paying attention to what people are seeing when we are showing stuff.
What?
Also
This is a
dicks.
labor of
I
love
was
for
just
everybody
remembering
at
on
Santa
the
Monica. So a
DS
lot of
whenever I
people
just drew a
have
whole
worked
bunch
on
of
this
dicks and then your
franchise
mom
from the
opened it.
beginning. We care a tremendous amount
Yeah, that
about this
happens.
game. So we hope that you all do as well.
Herman, I mean,
I was talking about the
you
fun of
guys
drawing
shipped
boobs.
This year, do you have any advice here?
Keep going back to the.
I know. I'm trying to help you.
Right.
I'm trying to help you.
All right,
Herman, you
sure.
guys shipped. So you've been where where Corey is right now. Do you have any words of wisdom? Any advice?
Lots of coffee. No, so Corey's now in a place where you're peak productivity. Every hour counts. I really don't know what he's doing here right now. He should be back in the studio. But it's also the most.
This guy's like
interesting
Chill
phase of
McGee,
the
man.
project Where everything kind of falls into place. And I know because we're pretty.
It's like he
close.
took a Valium
We're
before he
games
came out.
in
He's like-
Santa Monica Studio. We actually visit each other. We do an exchange program. We have a lot of people that have been on site of this team. And I know that these guys are in a situation now where everything is falling into place, so it's going to be magical. I can't
There's a
wait.
lot of crazy talk in there about boobs right now.
I want to visit you guys too. I never have gotten a chance. Everybody else goes out there.
Invitation is open.
Right.
You're
All right.
busy.
Finish the game.
Totally going out there. We should crowdfund that.
Did we say that Corey needs to go finish
I
the
think
game?
you should
Finish the game.
For a lot of people here, I didn't say that.
All right, we'll just delay the game. I'll go out there.
Corey, I don't know
I'm
if you had a
picturing
chance to
he
check out
calls
the
him up
God of
and
War
finish the
booth
game.
That's actually being
Hangs
built
up.
right this minute here on PlayStation.
I have not seen it live in person. I've seen photos and then heard about it over the phone. Wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to. There's a lot of great photos.
Oh,
You'll
this
be
is
able to
on the
wear
show floor.
Kratos face paint, be able to don the armor, take photos.
Fun.
But there's a special reward for those who are brave enough to get their head shaven.
Yeah.
Any takers
Whoa.
out there? Who's daring enough?
Seriously?
Okay.
So if I wake up with a shaved head,
Okay, we're gonna
do I
it
get
now.
do I get a free shave, like a free bic?
I'd love it at home.
Like if I have my stubble, I'm like, yep, take the stubble
Oh,
down,
that's
thank
how you
you.
get-
Some
get
other
a
guests
bit?
dropping by here. On that
Like,
note,
or
Like
they
a-
just
it
do
sounds
it.
like some folks.
That,
who
the
watched
the
game
reward
last
is
night,
a free
right?
head shaving.
Oh,
Okay.
That is the special reward.
We got an
I want
At the end, you find out that they don't
dreams,
charge
and
you
I
for the
thought it might be
haircut.
fun to learn a little bit more about it. What do you think?
Fraser already
All right,
won.
Well, please welcome Shaban Reddy from Media Molecule.
This is gonna be quite the thing.
The soundtrack.
Ladies and
Always
gentlemen,
sounds
please
amazing.
welcome Siobhan Reddy.
Have we seen
good.
her before?
Hello. Oh,
Media Molecule.
I made you shake it one time.
Hello, good to see you.
I think so. Wasn't she on stage?
Welcome.
Thank you.
This is the
I don't know. I don't recognize
This is
her.
so relaxing.
It's lovely. It's
I
very
feel
nice.
separate.
Well,
I feel
I'll
separate.
take it up. Right.
Siobhan, I got
You are separate.
What's Media Molecule been up to lately?
I know.
Well,
I
we have
feel
just
that
been
way.
So busy. Heads
She has
down,
a
getting
Lebret scar
everything,
too.
dreams
High
ready for
five.
everybody.
Yeah, high five.
So we're so excited
You're
to
both
be here
dumb.
at PSX and sharing the project. You know, for us, like we're a studio that loves to, you know, bring new experiences and innovative new experiences to everybody, and can't wait to see what you're going to do with it.
How would you describe Dreams? I mean, it seems like a game that's kind of hard to describe, if I'm frank.
Well, I mean, so we did make Little Big Planet, and for us, Dreams is our next step into the Play, Create, Share domain. And I mean, in the trailer that we released last night, like,
I wonder if it'll have a
really
campaign.
working about that announced our story mode.
It looks like it does
Which
based on
the
this.
stories
Like,
that
but
we're
this could have
making.
just been a creation somebody made.
But also the really important
But it's
thing
Media
about that is that
Molecule. It'll have a
everything was
campaign
made
that
in Dreams.
like basically
So,
acts as a
you know,
tutorial for
create
what you can do.
devices, You
Yeah.
can create absolutely anything. You can create
That
games,
seems
you
to
can
make
create
sense.
movies, like all of the characters, the animation, the logic, everything was made in Dreams. And so for us, that's what's a really big differentiator. And then you can share it with the world. So really, it is like that next step on with Play, Create, Share.
Tell us a little bit more about what we're seeing here in the story mode. I mean, I think there was sort of like 3 different dreams.
It has
or
3
universes
campaigns.
that
That's
we were
right,
kind of looking
yeah.
at.
Oh, it's cool. So here you have little debug. So basically, our story mode is 3 interwoven stories, and it's called Art's Dream. And here you're seeing debug. This is the sort of more sci-fi theme, and we decided that instead of just sort of going with one type of gameplay, one type of look, we would do the 3. So this is a sci-fi. And we also have the sort of film noir setting, which is point-and-click adventure.
You sit like
and there
this,
is
man.
the childhood fantasy, which is kind of classic MM with a bit of horror stuck in.
Yeah, and I think
She
we're
doesn't
seeing
sit like
this,
me.
Here
right
is
now.
the
Yep.
noir. Yeah.
Looks lovely. I mean, So interesting.
Wow.
You could build something like this. I mean,
Oh,
They
well,
look so different all.
yeah.
yeah.
So far, we've
That's-
only really
that's
seen
the
their
point.
stylized
We
stuff,
wanna show people
but you can
what
like
we've
make
done
some
with the tools. And this theme here, the mystery theme,
realistic
is
looking shit.
just- It's absolutely gorgeous. The
How
whole
do you
thing
make
is
something
probably
so
stunning.
complicated as a
Yeah.
piano in
For us,
this
I think it's
game?
really
Like that must take
important
just.
to bring in these, painted
some
looks
assets?
and
She says it was
chiseled
all made in
characters.
Dreams,
Here we have
from the ground up.
And so this is
So just
how you put
meticulous
things
work
laid
made that
out.
piano.
Wow.
And so you'll see that as you play
I wonder
through
if they have the ability to
you
paint
can
on a grid,
add
like so that you can make exact lines
So
instead of like, because
here is
when we
the main
the demos we've
character,
seen look like
this is,
freehand.
again, in
Yeah.
the last
There must be a way to like use a
but yeah,
ruler
for us
and
it
like
was the
make a
idea of,
straight
taking
line
these
and
three
like.
different settings and sort of binding them together into an interwoven narrative for people to
And
experience.
not to belabor the point, but you've made all of this in the Dreams engine.
That's right.
It's
All
insane.
of it is
This is so
running
exciting.
real time in Dreams. All made in
This is the
Dreams.
type of game that I want
So
my
that
kid to
someone
become
could recreate that.
obsessed with.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On their own.
Yep. They're all there.
Like
I mean, one
yeah, I mean
question.
that's the exciting thing.
Yeah, I've just always been wondering with this title.
Mario
how
Paint has
far
come a
sort of
long
does the rabbit
way.
hole go when it comes to genres. I mean, can you make like racing games? Can
Yeah.
you make RPGs?
Yep.
Can you make? I mean,
I think what we learned from LBP is give people the tools, and that
Can
we
you
have
put
the
voice
most
acting in?
Extraordinary things, and Dreams is just.
I mean,
it's
people are
there's
talking,
just
they
so
said it
much
was all
deeper
made
than
in
the thing.
Dreams.
So I mean, for us, like we we're so excited because there's absolutely the sky is the limit, and I think that we'll actually
You
start to see
can,
almost
so you can like get a nice mic, hook it up with USB to your PlayStation, and talk into it.
It'd be super exciting.
it strikes me, Corey. I mean, would there be any benefit to God of War maybe borrowing some of this Dreams technology, and would that help you get across the finish line a little quicker?
I would have had a release date today had I had.
Speaking of that, actually, Shaban, do we have a target release time here for Dreams?
So we're releasing 2018.
Great.
Yeah. So we're ready. Getting
I'm
ready.
excited for this
Yep.
game.
I would imagine you need some kind of beta or something to really launch a game.
Is
like
there
this.
That's right,
multiplayer
yeah.
elements
so
in
we're
it,
gonna
I
do a beta
wonder?
prior to launch, but
I mean,
yeah, we're not announcing.
Media
exact
Molecule
dates just
did.
yet,
You could
but,
make
yeah, that
racing
will
games and
definitely
play
happen, and we know that our community
four
are desperate
player.
to
You
get,
mean Little Big
to get
Planet?
it onto the
Yeah,
beta,
sorry.
So we'll be definitely doing that.
And so are your sister studios within the world.
I know. Well,
Anxious
come on
to get-
over. Come on over.
We'll do it.
I'm sure you
We
guys
get a copy early, right?
Yeah. Well, we'd love to do the Jam, Worldwide Studios Jam. Like, how cool would that be?
I'm in. Let's
yeah.
do it.
I mean, we're going to
We're
do
jamming.
it. Like, I just think it would be the best.
I'll cover the pizza for that.
All right, thanks, Shaban. We've been doing a lot of talking here tonight. I kind of feel like playing a game, I mean, what do you
Now I
guys
want
think? Do you want to play a
pizza.
game?
Me too.
Yeah, I want
With
pizza.
us?
Shit!
Okay. And you guys have any ideas about a
Fuck.
fun game to play with friends?
I want pizza.
Let's get pizza.
Yahtzee.
Yahtzee? We're going to just sit down and play Yahtzee right here on the stage. I've got an idea.
Yahtzee's the fucking
I've got
worst.
an idea. That's Overcooked. Overcooked
I
is
like
a brilliant
Yahtzee.
game. No, we're not going to play Overcooked up here. We're going to play...
We've done Until Dawn before in the group setting.
Yes, we're going to play Detroit Become Human. Please welcome Guillaume from Quantic Dream.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Guillaume de Fondemier.
What's his involvement on the game? Is he, what is David Cage doing on this? Is he, directing? I think he wrote.
A lot of people.
A lot of people here. Yeah, this is going to be exciting. We got the idea from the very first
writes and
PlayStation
directs.
experience, by the way, where we fired up Until Dawn. Great game. I'm sure you guys are
Is
fans
it
of
co-direction
And
in writing
everyone
them? Because I thought
cheer
Cage
and
also
holler
wrote
to
and directed
decide,
this.
to decide what actions we should take. But before we do that, we'll do that in just a minute. Guillaume, I wanted to ask, what inspired Detroit Become Human?
Well, as you know, in 2011 we started to work on a tech demo called Kara,
Oh, yeah.
and this Android that is getting
Kind of broke the internet,
and,
that video.
When it released in 2012, we showed it as a prototype. Everyone was asking us, what happens to Kara when she goes out into the world. And so David Cage and the team started to work on, what happens when she
This
comes
guy's the
out.
producer.
And so we
Thanks.
imagined this world in about 20 years.
That's weird. You'd expect David Cage to be the
when,
producer.
Human-like androids are really commonplace. So they're everywhere. They've taken on.
Isn't that what an
actually
android is by
jobs of
default?
humans.
Human-like,
And
by definition?
although they look and speak
I'm
and
splitting
behave
hairs.
like human beings, they're only machines. They're really at the service of humans. And so in the game, you're going to play as 3 of these androids.
But, yeah.
Kara, of course, Connor, and Marcus. And they're each very different models. They have their own backstory. They have their own place in society. And as the player, you will have to make critical decisions that is going to impact their fate. So you're really going to be in control of the story and change the way the story unfolds.
I love games like this. And the great news is this is playable here this weekend at PlayStation Experience.
Fun.
But I don't want to wait. Why wait, right? I want it all. I want to open my presents right now. So Guillaume, take your position, please. Guillaume will be playing on PS4 Pro. And here's what's going to happen is all you early bird ticket holders out there,
I think
you're going to help Guillaume
they can
make
all be the
decisions
pleasure
in this
model,
game.
Carbon Water.
And you're going to do that by making noise, right?
I don't hear you well, so please. So a little bit of context. We're playing this hostage scene, which is the very first scene in the game. We're playing as Connor. Connor is a prototype. He's been built to investigate deviant androids that all of a sudden do something weird. And so we're going into this hostage scene where the house
I want to go shopping for a blender and ask the sales guy, which one's the pleasure model?
And we're going to try and save the girl.
What do you mean? It'd be like, you know.
X for Sean, no?
Cool. I want to be an android.
It's interesting, an android playing. Like, they're showing aspects that make you believe that they would be more than just an
I'm
AI.
in control of the character. I can really move him around the way I want with the
God, it's
left analog
gorgeous.
stick. With the right analog stick, I can interact.
Take it, and somebody yell, take it, take it! About the fucking
think so.
photo.
So Connor is very intelligent.
What's the laughter?
I don't know.
Kneel down!
Should I save the fish or not? Oh, too late, too late.
Oh, too late. She interrupted.
There's no sound.
All right, ma'am. You need to go.
You can't do that.
All right, ma'am, you need to go. Your allotted time for accosting our investigator is up. Yay!
Remember that every action has a consequence.
Every action has a consequence.
So at any moment you can hold R2 and you enter what we call the mind palace of the character. Shows you your objectives.
It's not really what a mind palace is, but okay.
Just give the order.
So here, for instance, I can see that I can talk to Captain Allen.
If the thing would come up. There you go.
Captain Allen, my name is Carr. I'm the android sent by CyberLife.
It's firing at everything that moves. It already shot down 2 of my men. We could easily get it, but they're on the edge of the balcony. If it falls, she falls.
Quick, so I can ask him about the deviant's name, emotional shock.
Like a timer.
You want the code. Everybody yelled code, and he chose emotional shock.
Does it matter?
And what'd you say?
Information to determine the
Timers.
best approach.
Yeah.
Kind of makes
Yeah,
sense
that
here.
annoys me.
Have you tried its deactivation codes?
First thing we tried. Listen, saving that kid is all that matters. So either you deal with this fucking android now, or I'll take care of it.
What's that threat? That's not even a threat.
Yeah.
You've been trying to take care of it, and you couldn't. And you
So
just
I'm
said
here
that
now.
if she falls, if it falls, she falls. So
Okay,
you can't take care of it.
So, as Connor the investigator, I have special abilities. One of his abilities of Connor is that he can analyze evidence. And if you find all the evidence, you can then put them together. And you enter into the reconstruct mode. So you can basically reconstruct what has happened in a recent past. So here, for instance, you can see that someone has taken this wallet here. So the deviant took the father's son.
Batman detective mode /
Okay, so we have unlocked something here.
We also recently saw
apparently,
this in Watch
that
Dogs.
we may use later in the game.
There's a lot of games that do this now.
So I'm going to further investigate this.
For the most part,
Okay, the probability
which
of success is
actually
going
fairly
up.
large.
That's neat.
So here, sorry, up.
Oops.
So there's really nothing you have to do. So there's a bug here.
oh no.
Oh no, buddy.
There you go.
Okay, now we know the deviant's name is Daniel.
Weird.
Maybe something that we can use later on.
That's so weird. She's taking a selfie with her android.
Way up. Good. So at any moment I can press R2 here and see, you know, those little yellow flags. That's an indication of everything that's interactive in the scene.
Oh shit.
So let's take a look at this person here.
Yeah, the problem with this mode, this detective stuff, is nobody's really figured out, I feel like, how to make it actually feel like a game. Like, you're just kind of like dragging around till you find something, right?
Yeah.
There's no real intuition to it.
I have a bad controller that we know now.
Oh, it's getting interference.
Shit.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That happens a lot during presentations. Controllers get interference, like, because there's so much fucking tech going on around
Yeah.
it.
Okay, and now I can reconstruct.
That's why you should always have like wired controllers for presentations.
And it's really part of the gameplay to also play with the camera. Try to find clues.
I mean, that can be cool if they like hide something cleverly and you have to like figure out like what am I trying to find here, and then you see that it was like hidden behind a thing or something.
Well, it seems like they're trying to
Okay,
do that
we found
here because
Yeah.
there's different parts to
yeah,
analyze.
and you have to look around and
Unlocked.
find it.
Yeah, and it's not just
evidence?
in this one screen. Like, you have to kind of look around and
Will I
shift
be
the camera.
able
Yeah.
to analyze?
So I get that is a game aspect, I suppose. Challenge. I can't remember what Noir was like, LA Noir.
It was decent, you thought?
I remember a lot of walking around, looking at the ground, and just like clicking a lot.
Okay, now we understand.
forget what it was like when you
what
actually
happened.
knelt down.
Deviant was going to be replaced. Didn't like it. Oops. All right, so that is a soft reminder that time is of the essence.
Shit.
You guys are terrible. why was a guy without... You got all these guys with equipment on, helmets, and he was positioned at the window? You, the one without the helmet, get to the window.
Yes, sir.
You can see the best without a helmet. He didn't even have like a bulletproof vest. Yeah, it's funny, like in this world, it's very clear that these androids are... The AI has too much, like, something's wrong here. You're treating them like products, and yet they clearly have jealousy, they clearly have, like, fear.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they'll have an explanation for why these aspects of their AI was put in.
I would hope so, because it seems like a big part of
Great.
this scenario anyways.
What are they?
Take the weapon.
So what, we can't just be issued a weapon?
Okay, so now I have a 78% probability of success. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, now we need to be quick.
Did he shoot him? Is that why it went blue?
Yeah.
Where'd he hit him? I don't see any holes in his vest.
Hi, Daniel. My name is Connor. How do you know my name?
Ah.
I know a lot of things about you. I've come to get you out of this.
How did an android miss?
Maybe he meant to. Uh-oh.
Ooh, I need to approach slowly. So, what do you want?
You need to trust me. Let me help. I don't want your help. Nobody can help me.
Shall we hop the cop?
Meh. No time.
He's losing blood. If we don't get him to a hospital, he's going to die. All humans die eventually. What does it matter if this one dies now? I'm going to apply a tourniquet. Don't touch him. Touch him and I kill you.
What should I do?
Can't die. You're an android, so ignore.
Are you armed?
Truth or lie?
Lie.
You don't have a gun. You're lying. I know you have a gun. I'm telling you the truth, Daniel. I came here unarmed.
Okay, so now we can use what we've unlocked. Quick.
I know you and Emma were very close. You think she betrayed you, but she's done nothing wrong. She lied to me.
It's good.
I thought she loved me. But I was wrong. She's just like all the other humans.
What should I do? Quick.
Whose decision was it to replace?
Replace you, and you became upset. That's what happened, right? I thought I was part of the family. I thought I mattered. But I was just their toy. Something you throw away when you're done with it.
What should I do? Quick.
Listen. I know it's not your
Yeah, this audience has gotten really slow for people who were screaming kneel down earlier
Yeah.
the moment they saw something.
No, it's not my fault. I never wanted this. I love them, you know? But I was nothing to them. Just a slave to be ordered around.
That little girl's done really well. The way she keeps glancing over.
That noise anymore. Tell that helicopter to get out of here.
What should I do?
Sure. What's the helicopter gonna do? Tell him to get the fuck out. You're an android. Can't you run really fast?
Should we?
Sacrifice self. Use gun. They're all yelling. Execute.
Did she fall too?
I think so. I mean, that's what.
I think she pushed off him.
Oh.
I knew you would say that.
Savages.
Who was that masked man?
Yeah.
You didn't have a mask, sir. Well, I'll be goddamn. I was looking at the dog.
Why did the dog have a mask?
Well done.
Halloween.
You guys should be very proud you saved the fish.
You gotta save that fish. That was incredibly tense. And I'll tell you, I played that two or
Yeah,
three different
so good.
times. I didn't even know you could do that. I would always talk them out of it, or, I mean, how many ways are there to solve that situation?
There are many ways, but more than the different endings, and that's true for this scene, but for all the other scenes, everything that you do has a consequence. And so you have to experience it for yourself, because watching someone play and playing it
So what's the
yourself
consequence of the
is
fish?
Totally different. But
I thought we were just there to see.
I hope it's not marketing speak. It'd be really cool if everything you did literally had a consequence.
I think the consequences are that it increases. If it's important, it increases the likelihood.
So what'd the fish do?
And totally change the story. And it's
I guess
really our
the
most
decision to
ambitious project.
take the fish
It's the most
away
branching
from your time
narrative that we've ever created.
So that's the consequence. So some things you do are a fucking waste of time, and that's actually gonna like reduce the amount of other things you can do.
That we've created because we are touching upon certain themes
That is true, though. The
socially
consequence could be that you just took extra time
and
doing
we
something that didn't matter.
Hope, we think that we're going to touch players on an emotional level and give them the opportunity to experience something really, really different.
Well, you touched me on an
Yeah,
emotional level,
dude. Yeah, I was
can tell
thinking
you
that too.
right now. What about
At
you
the end of the
guys
game, the
down
fish
there?
saves you from taking a bullet.
Wow. Intense.
How many pages is the script? I need to know.
Or you're about to be shot, and then all of a
David Cage
sudden.
says 2,000.
What?
I
needed to know that,
counted
too.
Oh.
Slightly more.
Yeah, slightly more. There's a lot more, probably.
I'm picturing a standoff, and the guy who's about to shoot you just like gets shot in the head, and then it like zooms up, and the fish has a sniper rifle, and he like nods, and then just packs it away and walks
We
away.
have thousands of story permutations
Goddamn
that we're
fish.
going through. It's hell.
So wait, you have been working on this for 7 years, and you said you were working on yours for how long were you working on yours?
Pretty much, yeah.
Seven?
I mean, that's
Seriously,
the magic
I'm
number.
5
It's the
years,
magic number.
less than 5 years. Everyone.
Humble brag.
The game.
Humble brag.
About the game for 3 years, then we start developing.
There you go. So 10.
But it's necessary.
Everybody's just trying to top me. That's cool.
Finish the game, Corey.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to. Now I want to take an additional 2 to 3 years.
Do I have more time?
No, just 2 years. It's fine.
Great job, everybody. You saved the hostage.
That was good.
That was Detroit Become Human.
That's good.
Play it
2 years is fine.
This weekend.
And you
Play
saved
that.
the fish.
Get a totally different experience. Who knows? That is coming out next year, right? Next year on PS4?
It is coming out next year in spring.
I am buying that. Oh my.
Oh, Guillaume, you just laid it right out there.
Exclusive. Okay, well, very cool, very cool. Good stuff so far. But I gotta say, who
That's
wants to see
exciting.
some trailers? You want to see some new game trailers?
Nah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that game.
Let's see some new game trailers. Roll it.
I especially love that it has many characters, because then it won't have the problems of, like, the Ellen Page game, where if you don't love the Ellen Page character, you get annoyed
Yeah.
and bored.
So what is this?
This looks cute.
Hole simulator?
It's kind of cool. You put trash in the hole and it gets bigger.
You know what would be cool? If it actually ran at 60 frames per second.
Dude, it does. Look at the screen.
Does it have a platinum trophy?
I don't know. I just started.
So, like, what's the point of the game?
There's puzzles. If you collect the kiln, the hole catches on fire.
Oh, sick. This game has Updog, right?
What's Updog? What's up, dog? Seriously, what's up, dog?
It looks really like a Katamari kind of type of thing almost, but
Yeah.
like, huh. It looks addictive.
It looks like a relaxing kind of.
It's kind of a puzzle, like it's
Yeah.
puzzle solving because like, yeah, that's Donut Country. It's cute. That makes for a great mobile title, but I don't think it is.
No.
Man,
Just said
when will
PS4.
Sony come out with a new mobile platform? They will eventually. They can't just abandon that market.
Meet up.
There's no way they can abandon that market. It's too big a market.
Yeah, man. Gotta do something soon.
Nice tune. Man, somebody Shazam that shit right there.
Yeah, is it Echo the Dolphin or is it just similar?
No results. What the shit? That's insane. Is it like made for the game? That'd be kind of cool if it has its own unique soundtrack.
Yeah.
So it's Echo for the new generation, and it's not VR, or is it VR?
It is VR.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
That
Something
was
like that should always be
a
VR,
wicked awesome
right?
working out song.
Yeah. What is this game? Is this BlazBlue? Pretty Sword Boys versus Pretty Sword Boys.
Who will win?
Oh, not just. Oh, this is. Wait, that's a Persona character. It's Persona 4 characters?
Ooh.
Wait, there's a lot of different types of. Is this like a mashup of some kind? It's BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle.
Battle.
Hang on just a minute.
Ruby Rose is on the way! That's from that Ruby thing.
You like it?
I hate Ruby. I hate it. This feels like Platinum Games of some kind. Oh no, it's not. Nice, we're gonna see. Show us Ivy! Show us Ivy! A tale full of swords and souls.
I am ready to fight you.
Soul swords. Boing, 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 boing.
So didn't a Soul Calibur come out for a system?
I don't think so.
We didn't get into it.
It's been a while since there's been a Soul Calibur, hasn't it? Jesus, dude, she's just a girl.
Yeah, well, she's gonna kill him.
Yeah, that's true. She was a bitch about it.
Oh gods, guide me.
2012, yeah.
Wow. I wonder why the franchise disappeared for so long. It's fucking tense.
Because I remember when it came out in 2012 and I was excited and I wanted to get into Soul Calibur again. But I just didn't have the time for it. I wonder if I would now.
There seems to be something. Do you think that's a particular her character? This lightning, like, no, he had a glowing sword too. It looks like elements are like a big part of this. He was switching the color of his sword. She was switching the color of hers. Monster Hunter? Yeah. I guess the demo of this comes out tomorrow. The textures are really low res.
The beta starts,
Then
yeah.
that means the Elder Crossing is upon us again.
Cultural appropriation.
Quite a
Yeah.
sight. Just wait till we're finished. Soon, I hope. The Second Fleet always delivers. It's up to you to stop it. This whole operation rides on how well you do that. We can do this.
Not a really exciting trailer.
It's an ecological marvel.
It's an interesting character.
One that easily dwarfs any I have ever seen.
You could snorkel that.
Yeah. All right, these battles look pretty neat. And it's co-op, right? Like online co-op?
Yeah, 4-player co-op.
So, is it drop in, drop out? Like, I wonder how they tie these, if it's a story, how do they tie these together? Because Monster Hunter is such a, like...
Though we have learned much, what we have are mere facts, and not a single clue.
She looks like she's a Gerudo out of Zelda. Wouldn't it be too easy if somebody who's further into their campaign drops into yours and has, like, amazing weapons or something? I wonder how they do that.
I think it's mission/session based.
Interesting. Whoa. Whoa, the monsters look so cool, like their designs. Did you see all those dick plants around her?
Yeah, I was just wondering what those tubes did like, because it looked like there was jelly in them.
Yeah.
Is that what you thought?
She's a zoologist who specializes in dick plant.
Coat.
Anywhere in the world where there's dick plant, she knows where to get it.
She be there.
What? No, that was just a little.
That was just
no. That was just. What? What? So your cat companion can turn into Mega Man if you just like to completely destroy the experience for yourself.
Really.
Oh my God, that music. I wasn't even a huge Mega Man player because I just didn't own the games. But I can still acknowledge it had some of the best music in video games.
Yeah. You're sold.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Andrew.
That tune
House
is like
and
it was
Mark Cerny.
made to be played on guitar.
Yeah.
All right, so Cerny's out here to. Once we get through the pleasantries with Andrew House, Cerny's gonna go off on a soft-spoken,
people.
like tirade about processors and engines and.
Andy, you've been at the heart of PlayStation
Such an
for
odd-
over 20 years now, and
God,
you've
you
been planning
remind
to
me
change for
of-
the last few months.
what's the
Is there
comedian?
a little you can tell everyone
From
about
Silent
that?
Live.
Sure,
Old, like from the 80s.
You know, in essence, I have been with PlayStation since the start.
Dana Carvey.
And I've been through some
Okay.
good times.
Reminds me of Dana Carvey.
So
Being the
much.
church lady.
And
Yes.
Right now,
Why
the
that
business is probably
special?
in the best shape, our platform, our games, than I've ever seen it. And thank you. I hope you guys agree. And with that, and having finally achieved the creation of Sony Interactive Entertainment, bringing all of our
Mark Cerny
company
is,
together under one roof.
He's
And
very
then
much
on top of
Sony's
that,
Jonathan
having,
Ives
been with the
from
same
Apple.
company for 27 years.
He's like their
14 of
expert
those
who
years
knows
working
how to
in
talk
Japan.
flowery and
It just felt like the right time to hand a great thing to the next generation, and for me to just go and find one more adventure.
So, yeah, the tribute at the Game Awards last night was definitely very emotional.
Yeah.
And so tonight we have a special guest who also wants to celebrate
He's gonna
your
miss.
impact on gaming.
He's
but,
gonna miss him.
Before that, let's roll video.
He doesn't want him to go.
Once there was an explosion.
He begged him not to. So we get to see. Let's hope that we get to see some gameplay for Death Stranding here.
I think it's the same. Do you think it's the same video?
That'd be crazy. You can't just show that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Once there was an explosion. A bang which gave rise.
What he's saying here is actually what they ended the last thing with.
The next explosion.
These are the things he said at the end of the VGA's segment.
It's looking the same though.
It is looking the same. Or, yeah, it pretty much
It's
opened
the
the exact. It's the exact same. Okay, so
It
maybe.
was at the start of the trailer too.
Oh, okay. I just didn't remember right. Well, that's unfortunate. I kind of was really hoping to see maybe something.
Last year they did two different things on day one and day
Well,
two.
the people in the hall might not have seen it since they were probably flying
or drinking
or drinking
or sleeping
or sleeping
or fucking.
or fucking.
Okay. Those are the only options.
We get to take a look at another look at this, I guess. One of the interesting things is the way that he starts to age.
They're here.
So weird.
Yeah. Wild.
Shut up. Don't even breathe.
The faces are really well done in this. Like, they look incredible and expressive.
But
And they're staying out of the Uncanny Valley. They're staying well on the left side of it.
right.
So they're not realistic enough looking to make you get creeped out, I don't think. Or to get that odd feeling
Yeah, yeah.
except maybe with his, because he's a familiar face. Possibly, like. I think the Uncanny Valley widens in both directions when you use a familiar human face that everybody knows, because you can tell that it's not quite the person you saw that you know.
Yeah. I keep wanting to see his face again now. I know they'll show it again closer, but
Like, it looks on par with like the recent Final Fantasy cinematic faces and expressions. Like, that good. That this is being rendered in real time is just incredible.
yeah.
It's mind-blowing that this is capable. It's such a visual feast. However, I'm troubled by how long this cinematic is while I'm playing a video game. It's very Kojima.
Yeah.
Like, I know you like playing video games, but let me interrupt you for a second to watch a movie I made. It doesn't look to me like I can't see any spots that involve gameplay here at all, even if they like took away like QuickTime graphics. I don't think there's any QuickTime events here, even.
Could be trying to shoot.
I don't think so. I really don't. I think that in true Kojima form, you have to sit through all of this. why he has to kill himself. And why won't Norman Reedus help him out?
Yeah.
He helped the other guy out by
Yeah.
killing him, but Norman Reedus is just sitting there like, nah, not my job. He seems completely unfazed, like, oh, that's a damn shame.
You're the guy now, Norman. Yeah, total Psycho Mantis vibes. Me too.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a 50-minute scene for the first. Remember how Kojima made it so that we could play through the beginning of Metal Gear Solid 4 by pressing forward on a thumbstick so you could crawl? Wasn't that great that he put interactivity into his movie? That's all. You just basically press forward the entire cinematic. I would rather you just take that out so I didn't have to hurt my thumb. What did the side of that vehicle say?
Oh, I read it both times. Bridge and then something underneath. Bridges, the United Cities of America. Okay, thank you.
How baby form. How Norman Reedus get pregnant.
Once there was an explosion. A bang which gave rise to life as we know it.
Has there been any inkling of a date on this?
And then came the next explosion.
This could be like 5 years away. For all we know.
It could be.
An explosion. It will be our last.
I love that Mads is in it. Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, me too.
Nicholson. He's amazing. Why does he say, "oh yeah" at the end?
I have
That's
no
so
idea.
weird.
20XX. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any real date.
Ladies and gentlemen, please
Yeah.
welcome
Kojima clearly casts based on people he wants to hang out with. Kojima's here and he's got the weird device on.
That guy's excited.
He sure is. How old is Kojima again?
82.
Seems he has to walk around very carefully with that thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's under his shirt. He's in his 50s. He does not look 20.
54.
He looks
So,
like
that
our
trailer
age.
is a little strange, but the strangest
It's
thing
weird.
is that after you played the game for 4 or 5 hours, all
So
of
crazy
that
he's
starts
54 because he
make
totally looks like he's in
sense.
his mid-30s to late
Really?
30s.
So, Andy, I know you and Kojima-san
Yeah, he
have
does.
a long history together. How did you meet?
We met under the worst of all possible circumstances. It was E3. I was responsible for running the show, and I was hosting an event, and I got a call on my cell phone saying Kojima-san's code has just been stolen by a fan from the booth, and you have to go tell him.
Code? Like what code?
So went out into the night. We had tracked.
Oh,
him
like the
down to
actual
restaurant,
gaming code.
and we called him outside.
That happened?
And, on the sidewalk
For the
in LA,
demo?
we told him that his precious code had been stolen, and we had no idea where it was. And I remember the looks on people's faces as some short guy was bowing deeply on the sidewalk in LA to apologize for what had just happened. Anyway, the relationship could only go in one direction.
What ended up
from there.
happening with it? Does anybody know?
So I'm pleased to say. Nah.
Nah. That's awesome.
テラスみたいなところに
That's
出て、まあ平井さんもいましたけど、アンジーさんがなぜかこう近づいてきて、こうご飯を食べてたんですけど。
Yeah, we were eating
その事
together.
実を聞かされて、でアンジーさんがずっと謝ってたんで。
We were eating at terrace, and for no reason, for no apparent reason, Andy comes out of nowhere and approaches, and then he tells the news and he starts to apologize deeply. I remember that.
And
Aw.
Kojima-san's face just went white as a sheet.
Oh my God.
I've never felt so bad in my life.
でも忘れられないですよね。あれ
So was it horrible because it was his only copy, or is it horrible because he thought that like
They would leak
it would just be leaked?
I think probably because
まあこう
they thought it would be leaked.
こうすごく近くに感じた時そうです。
It's hard to forget that. I mean, before that, I've been with Andy in meetings and whatnot, but that was the first time that I really remember,
Yeah,
closing
bet.
the distance with Andy.
So, Death Stranding. Can you tell us a little bit about how that came together?
ですね、先ほどトレーラー出てましたけど、あれは実機で動いてます。プレイステーションプロで 4K です。はい。
So you just saw the trailer. That is all working in real time in a PlayStation 4 Pro.
で後半ノーマンがこう水中みたいなとこ漂ってて自分の中に入ってきますよね。あそこはプレイヤブルです。
And also in the latter half of the trailer, you see Norman in like water, kind of swimming, going to his own body. That's playable.
Wow.
So there was a part that was playable
So
in
how
there.
did Death Stranding come together?
The part where he's like in the water.
Okay.
Translate for him.
We can skip that. So,
Yeah, translators
Maybe the
can
world
sometimes tend to be bad.
what are your- some of your
They're like,
favorite
you don't
memories
think that maybe that should be passed on to the
Yeah.
person who he's making the joke for?
まあ食事を一緒に
Or is he understanding? Is Hideo?
ずっと前から。
We often go and grab lunch
We're
or
assuming
dinner
he's
together.
understanding.
で
I guess
大体仕
Hideo
事の話は私
understands
しませんので
English,
And we barely ever talk about work.
but doesn't like
70 年
speaking
代
it.
80年代の、テレビドラマこれは
That's possible
主にアメ
then.
リ
I
カ
guess that's why the translator's not doing that.
そういうのをすごく
We mainly talk about 70s, 80s TV shows, mainly American or European TV shows.
Okay, so Kojima-san has been very modest here because he will take on pop culture trivia in the US and Japan, 70s, 80s, and he will kick your ass. He's just an encyclopedia. I would also add that I think the most fun time most recently was sort of building a different form of relationship and seeing at first hand the sort of rebirth of Kojima Productions and having Sony be part of that has just been just really, really phenomenal from my point of view.
まあ独立するときにですね、まあいろんなところからオファーがありました。
So when I became independent, I was fortunate enough to receive offers from many different people.
で、まあいろんなところあったんですけども、やっぱり自由にものづくりがしたいので、僕のことを理解してくれているところとやりたいなっていうのはずっとありました。
So I had this many offers, but I wanted to keep my freedom to create exactly what I wanted. So I wanted to work with someone that understood me.
で、アンディさんにお会いして、こんなものを作りたいんだよと。 っていう相談をしました。
And well, I met with Andy and I told him, you know, this is kind of what I want to do.
普通は、役員室で何十人もいるところでピッチというのを散々やるわけですよ。こういうものをこういう狙いでこんだけ売り上げがあってこんだけで作りますっていうのをしないといけないんですけども。
So normally what you would do after this point is you go into executive meetings and you do a pitch of this is kind of the expected revenue, this is exactly what I'm planning and what kind of target audience I have. That's what would normally happen.
でその時アンディさんに 2、3分内容を口頭で言う
So Andy understands Japanese.
So I remember at that point I just told Andy maybe 2-3 minutes about what I wanted to do and just told him I didn't have any document and he just said, yeah, okay.
で最初の作品なんでやっぱりアンディさんもうねだいぶ付き合いも長いですし、信頼関係もあるのでそれで今回のデス・ストランディングができたと。アンディさんがいなければこれはなかった。 生まれなかったものです。これもこの赤ちゃんも生まれなかった。
And it would be the first work of Kojima Productions in the independent, so it was very important for me. And well, it was all because of Andy. Without Andy, none of this would have been possible. None of this, what you saw, would have been created. None of the baby giving the thumbs up would have been possible.
Is that actually how death is said?
Shout out to Herman.
Desu? Is he just being funny?
She knew.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, like, if you were to say...
Oh,
say it out.
Version?
Yeah, if you were to say death in English in Japanese accent, like...
That was really it for questions. Any final thoughts? We've run, I know, we needed more cards.
Yes, says Yusuke.
That's funny.
ちょっといいですか?
Yes, どうぞ。
で、アンディさん
That's weird how who makes the decisions to like do that, because I would say death should be more like death.
So well, going lunch with Andy last year, I think it was in January.
で企画は考えてたんですけども、テクノロジーが全くないので、エンジンもツールもないので、その時は事務所もなかったです。
I already had a good idea of what I wanted to do, but I didn't have the technology with me. I didn't have.
That's you're missing the point, Lime Green. We're talking about sounding out English words, not translating them.
So also thought of Mark and discussed with Mark.
でマークさんと1月世界中のスタジオを回ってそこでヘルマンさんと出会って今の手島エンジンがあると。
And well, went on a tour through all the studios in the world with Mark, and at that point I met with Herman, and well, that's what it led to today.
これもよくいろんなところで喋ってますけども、いろんなスタジオを回ってプレゼンテーションを受けました。エンジンはこうだよとか、ツールはこうですよとかっていうのを受けました。
This is something I often mention, but in that tour I went through different studios and I got a presentation of what kind of engine each studio was using, what were the characteristics of each one.
もう僕らもう何もなかったんで、その時4人ぐらいで仮事務所だったんですけども、すごく皆さん優しくしていただきました。
At that point I had nothing. I think we were 4 people in total at a very small rented office space, but everyone was really kind with us.
でゲリラの皆さんは
Yeah, it's weird. They have like extra padding.
で帰ろうとした時に一つの箱をくれたんですね。
And well, Guerrilla made their presentation showing us their engine, and when we were about to leave, they just gave us a small wooden box.
で箱を開けるとそこにゲリラのエンジンのソースコードが全部入ったものが入ってたと。
And well, when we opened the box, there was the whole source code of Guerrilla's engine.
で契約書も何も交わしてません。とにかく小島さんこれ持って帰ってくれと言われて、そこでもう泣きそうになって、もうこことゲームを作りたいってその時思いました。マークさんも同席されてたと思いますけど。
He's like, it should be noted that at this point we had no contract, nothing, no boundaries, and they were just like, yeah, go ahead, please use our engine. This almost brought me down to tears, and at that point I made a decision. Okay, this is the people I want to work with. This is also in part thanks to Mark.
I can relate.
デス・ストランディングっていうゲームのテーマは
They didn't even have a contract. They sent them the source code.
The theme of this, the theme of Death Stranding is connections.
I guess that helps when you're Kojima.
Yeah.
最初にアンディさんとソニーさんとのつながりがあって。
But still, being sent the source code, like, Even if he doesn't do something nefarious from it, he can look through it and like get so much information about and build his own code that's similar.
It started with a connection with me and Andy that led to a
How can I
connection with
compile
Mark,
this?
and that led to a connection with Herman and Guerrilla Games, and that led to a connection with all the people in here, and that all those connections led to having Death Stranding here today. So I want to thank everyone for this.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Fun night, huh? You know, just get some old friends together, you know, just hang out, you know. Getting to be holiday times. I love spending time with friends and family, you know. And I count a lot of you among that. I mean, it's like a game development super group is stacked up on here.
I wonder how long this goes.
Huge name
I
after
think he's
another.
wrapping it up.
Thank you so
okay.
much for
All right.
all
We
of
could
you.
start a musical act together. This would be wonderful, I think.
It would be incredible.
This
What
is
kind of
quite
game
the
would
white
we make
shot.
if we made a game together. That's what I want to know.
We would make Death Stranding in dreams.
And it would ship in 2018.
And I still would not understand it.
There would be a story.
Yes, indeed. There would be a great
that you'll understand at the very end.
They're coming under budget.
I love that he's poking fun at Kojima.
And early, like all
Kojima games.
That seriously is in your dreams.
You're still not going to understand it at the end.
Anyway, PlayStation Experience is just such a special time, and we have an incredible weekend lined up for everybody here. We've got all those big panels I was talking about earlier. Naughty Dog's bringing it, Sucker Punch is bringing it, Media Molecule's bringing it, and of course, tons and tons and tons of playable PS4.
Yeah, they still have room on the
VR
couches. They
titles.
need more people.
Lots of stuff to play. I mean, Far Cry 5's at the top of my list. You're going to be able to play
So they did do a
Firewall
thing.
Zero Hour. That's
They
the new
actually did
PlayStation VR
something.
game we announced earlier.
Man, did
Shadow
they not
of the
hype
Colossus
this.
series. It's the
Not
third time
at
I've said it, I
all.
know. Absolutely
They
gorgeous.
barely
It's
even
gonna
let
make
us
your eyes
find
pop
out that it was
And
happening.
then don't forget,
Yeah.
we've got Capcom Cup on
Yes,
Saturday.
Capcom.
Like, I was
That's going to be a
looking.
lot of fun, too. That's going to be right here. I truly think it is our biggest PlayStation experience yet, and I hope you all agree when
How
we
much
get
are
out there on the
tickets
show
to
floor
PlayStation
tomorrow.
Experience? I wonder what the
Before we wrap
attendance
up,
is,
though,
too.
Sean, there's been something I've been meaning to mention to you.
Way down here, all by myself on the stage.
Way down there. That's right. That's right. There's this this thing with this shirt. You know, I see it kind of peeking out there, out of your. What's the deal with that?
Oh.
Can we get a look?
So we kind of, it's this kind of tradition sort of happened by accident. And then I would wear a shirt on stage at PSX, which would give an indication of kind of games to come in the future, things I want to see happen. There was the infamous Crash Bandicoot t-shirt experience. But it led our friends and partners at Activision to bring out Crash Bandicoot again, which is one of the biggest, one of our most successful titles this year. We've done that with Ratchet.
I can't figure out what the
We've
circle
done that with
be.
Wipeout, and now we have Wipeout VR coming.
Bib ribbon.
Take your goddamn clothes off.
And so this year's shirt.
What is that?
What is that?
Yeah, I don't exactly recognize this.
Sir
Can you tell us anything about this?
Medieval.
Can you tell us?
Sir Daniel.
Anyone know what that is?
Is that
Sir Dan.
Does that mean ghosts or medieval?
I've been getting a lot.
That's
of,
his name?
A lot of feedback about
Medieval's coming back.
Medieval.
It's a game with this cartoony skeleton guy with one eye, and he's like a knight. And it was on like
when I moved to London.
PlayStation, I think the original
We'd like to bring
PlayStation.
it
It's
back,
kind of a platformer.
on PlayStation 4.
Okay.
We think Sir Daniel needs one more resurrection, and this is the time to do it. Thank everyone for sending their suggestions to me. Serendipitously, I'd already had this one baking in the oven, and then I saw all the pressure coming in, so I thought this was a great time to bring it out and talk about
Interesting.
it. Should we
He
roll
was
the
in
video?
PlayStation All Stars.
You guys wanna see the
Yeah.
video? Let's do that.
Well.
I wish this shirt had just said Ridge Racer.
Finally, you can prove yourself as warrior. Greetings, stranger. I'm Death.
So is it a new? It's remastered. Okay, there we go. Fully remastered, not a remake. Updated models, textures.
Medieval's coming to PS4.
Interesting.
One more thing. This shirt will also be available in the PS Store for the next 2 days at PlayStation Experience.
I think he literally means one more
Proceeds from
thing.
the sale of the Sir Daniel Resurrection shirt will go to Able Gamers. So
Although this as one more thing actually is
grab one of these shirts over the next 2
makes
days.
sense. Like that wouldn't have been a bad one more thing for certain people.
Thanks to all of you.
Okay.
It's been an honor. This is an incredible bunch. Guys have been great. We have an
It was just
incredible
a
weekend
teaser.
planned for all of you. Coming up next is Greg
Um,
Miller with Kinda Funny. We're going to take a very short
I
intermission.
think that
but we're just getting started, so stay with us.
yeah, we'll be done. We're done. Is there any last thing here though? Final montage?
One more thing.
Just a montage.
You are a warrior. You trained your whole life for this.
Shadow Warrior. It's just a montage.
Just a montage.
That's interesting. Oh,
It
goodness.
was more than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be like
Nothing, yeah. Yeah.
because of how they advertised it.
Yeah.
Or did not advertise it.
I think that maybe the reason I also consider this year to be kind of boring for me was that a lot of the games that I was truly so weird that I was truly excited for ended up not coming out, like God of War this year, and I mean, well, Shadow of Mordor ended up being a disappointment for me in the limited amount I played it. But a lot of the really unique titles I feel like are yet to come.
Listen, it was all his idea. He wanted.
Yeah, nothing about Days Gone.
No date for God of War. Well, he said 2 to 3 years, and then he said, just kidding, just 2 years he'll need to finish it. I'm really excited for Dreams to see what comes out of that.
Yeah. I think that it's going to depress me
Why?
because I'm going to go in and have like all these ideas and then I'll try to execute them and it'll
You realize that you suck. Well, one thing that they're gonna do is, they're gonna let you share assets. So if you create something, it goes into like almost like a store where you can browse people's things they've created.
Okay, so I can like draw tons of boobs and then maybe those boobs will make it into someone
Yeah, well, they'll probably have a moderation,
Pete,
a thing that moderates.
Gary.
What's wrong
Oh,
with
what's
boobs?
this?
We're looking for someone who's cool under pressure.
It's a commercial.
I haven't seen this one though.
A quick thinker.
PlayStation commercials tend to be funny.
Someone who won't back down from a big challenge. Does that sound like you, Gary?
Yeah.
That's boring.
PlayStation, the best place to play.
PlayStation. Cute.
Rated R. There's a reason you're here.
Yeah, boobs by blow.
Uh, Well, that's that. Anyways, yeah, it was good. Though it was nice. It was little, but it was nice. It was fun.
I thought that it was cute to have the developers all interacting with each other.
Yeah, they look like real chill dudes.
Yeah, they did.
But the no real surprises though, and I was hoping that we might see a little bit more from Dreams. When they started talking about it, I thought they'd show like demo it. Which I thought it would have been fun, since this is a game that they demoed technically like 3 years ago. You'd think they'd have more to show now, like that they could they showed us some things, but I would like to see a little bit more of the painting tools and what you can like demonstrate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a game that can't be spoiled, so demonstrate, like show me more shit. But
Media Molecule has
they
a
have
lot
many
of gameplay on their
streams.
channel.
I see. Well, let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, the big takeaway for me again is the Detroit gameplay. Like, that game just looks so interesting.
Detroit looks interesting. It looks interesting like most of the stuff that comes from that studio. It's just like, you know, the story and the characters will make or break your experience, so you really have to, like, I like that they are, that they're using many characters. Like, I don't know how many they have. I know
it sounded
Kara's
like
going to be
3.
one, that Daniel's going to, or the other dude, the guy that we just saw is going to be one.
Connor.
And
one
the
other
girl
dude.
who was in the situation with the little girl and the abusive father.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think there's any more?
They said 3.
Wait, there was another character
I thought it
during
was a dude.
We saw a scene where they were being like they were being activists and like digitally spray painting, and the cops are coming and they're breaking a window where robots were on display. Wasn't that a different character?
Cop, Revolution, Maid. Those are the 3.
Oh, so you don't play Kara. So it's those 3.
Okay. The maid is Kara.
The maid is Kara. Oh, she
Okay.
didn't look quite like
No,
her.
that didn't look like Kara at all.
Even though her hair was different, I think that even the face didn't look quite right.
Yeah.
Did it? It didn't look quite the same. Which is funny because they actually in one of the trailers show a girl who looks like her. That didn't quite look like her. Anyways, from what I remember. So here they have what? So this is a jam they did? So they basically made a game as you watched.
Oh, crazy.
like this and turn on the soft blend.
I think you're in smear. Yeah.
Oh my god, look at the tools. Wow, how did he just... He's doing it so fast. He started to flatten it and then he rounded it, and all of the shit's done in real time. Like, you get to see your changes as you do them.
Yeah.
Wow. There are tools here that 3D modelers would love to have in some of the top programs on PC, I'm sure. A lot of these 3D programs that model, like, people are notoriously unwieldy and bloated, and this is so slick.
Imagine this in a VR experience, just having a
Yeah.
canvas all around you.
Yeah, and you can. This is VR. You can have VR for this. You don't have to, but I'm pretty damn sure you can have VR, right, guys? Unless I'm, like, out to lunch. Oh, people are totally gonna make erotica in this.
Oh, yeah.
You could make
That's
some...
what he's doing right now,
Yeah,
isn't he?
he's making balls. Wrinkly balls.
You gotta love every body. Well, you don't have to.
It's clearly not VR exclusive, Lime Green, because I don't see a headset on him.
Who wants to see inside a dinosaur? Okay, so that's up so far. And then we need to hollow it out. We need to carve out the pumpkin. So what I'm going to do is get a circle again, a negative circle.
See, use all these tools and...
So we can see that once I go...
Oh my god.
There, so it's now hollow. You can see it's got a skin.
Oh, this is so...
And now I can do the face. Shame it's not Halloween. This would be really cool if it's it's close enough. Okay, so let's use a...
That's really neat.
eyes. So
So then he puts a glow in it as he goes along. But look how long he's spending on this one prop.
I know.
But they said during the first demo that they would have like a store that you go to, or something. Not a store,
That's
but
what I was
just
talking about when I said assets.
Yeah.
That you can, like,
Yeah, okay, but
grab from
I thought what you were saying was that maybe they've just
Maybe.
brought in assets that they made outside the game so that you could use them in the game.
No.
But like, yeah, so if somebody spends a day creating a perfect piano, or 3 days
Yeah.
making a perfectly done piano, then they could put it up into their like share, and then everybody could use that piano in all of their projects.
Yeah.
So if you wanted this as a whole level, you know, yeah, that's what I was like.
The most obvious thing.
And remember, Media Molecule has hired people. They've actually hired people based on people who made levels for Little Big Planet. Some of the
That
best
is
level
so
makers got
cool.
hired. They were contacted and said, hey, you've made some insane stuff. Would you like a job?
Wow.
And that's cool. So there will probably be people who like make stuff in here who become famous. So he not only did he make the model, he rigged it, which means like adding bones so that it has movability and posability. And he seemed to have given it some AI too, like the head is following things.
In his feet will try and do something. There we go.
I think it might be the pose.
This is insane.
Okay, I'll just repose him.
So whatever pose you put your biped in, it will take that as sort of like the starting point of the animation. So if you're in a very specific, weird, strange pose, the walk cycle might be. So the floor might be. Oh yeah, we're completely. It's not that at all. We were wrong. It's because everything's upgraded.
They've taken stuff that costs thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. That does it so much
This does it
slower.
so much
And this does
better,
it fast and intuitively for like $60 presumably. It's insane. Of course, like, I mean, like, I could see, like, modelers doing stuff in programs like this and then taking it over to professional software afterwards when they've made the rough work to do, like, meticulous, like, small changes or something.
I wonder. Oh my god.
Wobbliness you can add to them, arm vigor, lumberingness, sass. Put up the sass meter.
Yeah, man. Dude, this is cool.
Look at his head go. His head is like.
I think it's because he's really small right now, so he's breathing really fast.
Arm vigor, which is how much he moves his arms. How much he wobbles, which is how much his arms.
Oh yeah, he's got some attitude.
The thing is, what I've assumed they've done here is that they selected from a list of rigs and then put it into their model. And so the head that's wiggling right now could technically have been attached to, like, his penis or something. Like, you can tell it what the head is.
Right.
If it's like a rig.
I thought Sass didn't make his hip sway. I thought it made his head do that.
He's slightly confused by the floor thing. I like to dance. I like to.
So now he's animating. He's like modifying the animation. And presumably he could record this.
Oh my god.
So it's combining the walk cycle that he just came up with his own movements.
So I'm gonna leave him slightly twitching out for whatever reason.
ZBrush is like the de facto 3D modeling program, and it's like $1,000.
Yeah, he's like, okay, right. He's pointing. He's like, I want you.
Yeah.
Do you want the moves or the jewel?
I don't really mind.
This other guy's gonna create something here.
I remember he's pink. That's all I remember. Wow, this. I'm really looking forward to the art.
Oh, he's so happy.
Can you duplicate it?
And he just can duplicate assets really quickly. And so he just recreated the arm on the other side by copy paste.
Oh, he does have a little tuft of hair.
Oh, there he is.
Okay.
And they were showing with the tonsils, if you want two things identical, spaced apart from something, you can
Mirror.
do that.
Use a mirror tool.
Yeah.
We should do more just like descriptive like characters for people.
Oh, yeah. The concept art for this was him describing it to me.
So every time he adds something, like that, it becomes a part of the existing model. I wonder if there's a way to keep these assets separate. Like right now, can he grab the eye and pop it out, or is it now a part of the whole? I wonder.
Yeah, just little white circles.
That's a really good question.
I want to see if we can do this.
I wonder if there's like a timeline.
Inverse T.
How does that work?
That's not.
Okay. Yes.
This is the thing I am most proud of. Oh, it does look a lot better if you do that, though. I'm glad you said.
Okay.
Yeah, it stayed separate.
A unicorn's quite a lot of animal to make.
So then,
It's alright, I can do this.
She's gonna
can
make
you
it.
join them?
Yeah, I think you can, like, there's probably a thing that says combine elements, because it seems there that she made this out of many parts, and now it's combined, because then she smoothed it out, allowing, like... I wonder if they will allow you to export things from this, so that you could take it into an OBJ format or something out of the program, and then it'll send it off to a 3D printer.
Oh my god. Yeah.
OBJ is like the format that's used for everything. It's like...
Make the perfect woman.
You remember them saying that?
Wow.
You'll be able to export from this program? So this might become a serious tool. This
During
might
one
become...
of the streams they said it.
That suddenly makes this... You could import. You can import and export. That's nuts.
How much are they going to sell this for?
People are going to... Professionals will use this then. Professionals will use this to sketch something out, and then they'll export it. They'll like just do the rough work really quick, throw together ideas, and then they'll export it and then take it into the professional pipeline.
What are the suggestions of people coming in with that are really good, guys?
This is nuts. And this is just making stuff from scratch. Imagine what a kid with an imagination is going to do when he gets to download other people's assets
Yeah.
and put together a stage play with like a bunch of different characters. I wonder...
I think it's really cute that they're just like, they're having so much fun doing it.
I wonder if those people were streaming with Suhei Yoshida and they made him... There's an image, they like sculpted Suhei here.
Wow.
Look at... That's like an artist. The painting is incredible.
Yeah.
He's doing this work on a couch.
Yeah.
As somebody with carpal tunnel, if I was a 3D sculptor, this would be a godsend. I'd be like, finally, I don't have to die anymore. Like, and just sit on a couch and do some sculpting.
It's a very different experience.
Definitely. But like,
I feel like as a sculptor, I wouldn't.
if you told
want
me,
to
as a
move into
former, I haven't done 3D sculpting, but I used to do flash animation and video editing. If you told me that I could do either of those in an intuitive and quick way, using controls that just sat here like this,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks. I'd take
Yeah.
it in a second and try to learn, to like reteach myself so I don't get carpal tunnel anymore. But right now there are no tools. The only thing I can do is maybe edit on an iPad. But it gets frustrating because a lot of things aren't there on those apps that I need.
Right.
The VR helmet.
Man.
Plus, when I'm editing on an iPad, I have done it, and I start to get a different type of like hand crampiness anyways.
They haven't said anything about VR from what limited experience I've had
Really?
with this.
It just seems crazy that they wouldn't. It's stylized.
Like, you don't need VR for it.
No, you don't need
because
it. Clearly,
they
you don't need it. But
are not
I would be
using it.
blown away if it didn't have it.
Yeah.
It's perfect for VR.
You can play.
Could you imagine how much more intuitive it would be to sculpt if you had 3D vision, depth
And you
perception?
can kind of like walk forward.
Yeah, it'd be incredible.
It's easier, kind of, than.
Not amazing because it's pretty
Moving it.
powerful, but it's very messy at the moment. And one of the things we're doing is we're going and refining it because we don't want to just
That's cool.
rest on our laurels. It's like we took where we started with LBP and then we.
Is he affecting the texture there, or is he actually scattering the model vertices?
But yes.
Or is he just adding a shader?
Yes.
They will be adding VR, but it's not meant to be a VR game at launch. Thank you, Ratty.
Funnily enough, I don't know whether we can.
Those are just shader effects he's adding to the model hasn't changed underneath.
Oh, really?
He just added a shader that makes it look painted. It's a vertex shader. This is...
Oh yeah, look, check this out. I'll show you how. That was. I like the question because it was.
How Suhei is when he comes to America. He totally just chills out. Like, he has to be in a suit everywhere, obviously, in the super strict and regimented Japanese business environment. Then when he comes to America, he clearly lets loose.
Looks
He's
like
wearing
it.
jeans and a friggin' like
Plaid shirt.
plaid shirt or something. He's just like, he's the least like.
Oh, there. He's grouping.
Ah, there you go. So you can group it, meaning it can be broken apart later. Another thing I used to do in Flash, I loved the ability to like put something together so it looked like it was one thing, but later being able to disassemble it again.
Yeah.
So I had all those original
Go straight
shapes.
to the layers, the individual layers.
Man, I could definitely see making this a series on our show, just like derping around in here and making things for fun. I always liked the concept of what Media Molecule did with Little Big Planet and being able to create things, but I just felt so limited that I was still in Little Big Planet. Like I was still making Little Big Planet things, right?
So your experience would be just
But this is unlimited. You're not tied to any given style. Yeah, he's just taking a simple block, like that one on the left, and turned it into something that looks lumpy without any extra work.
Yeah. This is called Dreams.
the thing that I really think is very
Little Big Planet was crazy, definitely, but it didn't entice me nearly as much as the freedom that's in this.
the level of sketchiness that you have. So if I am working, for example, with this one is like quite oil painting style, and if I come close, you will see the brush.
The other thing that was
here. Now,
pretty ambitious. Do you guys remember that game that they tried for on the 360 that you could create like a game in there and worlds in there? It had like a little chipmunk that was like the signature of it. Project Spark. Very ambitious. Kind of failed. Like when we tried it, the frame rate was just so low and the loading times were insanely low or high.
Yeah.
It was really kind of like you were like, there's something really cool here, but it's like they didn't optimize it enough and they tried too many things at once or something.
Many styles and many assets. And you haven't even
it was shut down, if I recall correctly.
It's sad because they clearly really cared about it and really had a lot of passion about where they were going with it, but
it's got to be so disheartening whenever something like that just
the world never gets to see really what you did. I mean, we did because we got to play the demo, but at the same time, it sucks that it never became a thing.
For our community, when they get their hands on it, have you got any requests for them? Anything you'd like our community to build in Dreams? What are you playing at the moment?
Look at Yoshida.
I love, action platformer. Because this time
he's like a kid, like a bored kindergarten. I like racing games.
I like to.
And they're treating him like a child. They're like, is there anything you would like, little Suhei?
Maybe we should run a design competition and you can judge it when the beta comes out.
Funny story, Mark, if that's your name. It's not, sir. Okay, Mark. This one's called... Wow, I might start watching their streams. They make 3 cities in 1 hour, they say.
Damn.
Chat is saying you guys are so awesome.
Thank you.
I'm loving it.
This for me, like, look at this shape, Jenny, like this one. This is very cool result of just him using a
They've lit their studio well. It's not like just a working space. Like, they've actually put some effort into their broadcast.
Start working design as a result.
wow.
You could be designing here a dome, a whole
So he's...
San Pietro dome.
So you can create something like that complicated. He's clearly like said, give me a mirror effect, but star mirror. So it's...
Yeah.
And now I'm doing a 12 because 6 and 12 line up.
So again, we're seeing really freeform, they're using rigid structures here, rigid shapes, but we haven't really seen what I was thinking they might do. Like, I haven't seen snapping. In order to create a piano without the keys looking all jangled, like, you're going to need some rigid ability to snap to a grid, and they haven't shown that.
I haven't seen any grid system yet.
Plants and organic structures. And you get like wood works. It didn't really stay for long.
I cannot wait to see the super detailed penises that are going to be created in this.
Yeah, man, it's going to be great.
Like with veins and like... Yeah.
12-fold symmetry. They were trying to do it.
And the builders like, oh man, broke it. One now that has more of a Blade Runner, futuristic sci-fi.
Grab a character.
And then you can rig it.
And then you can rig it. Give it
Good
jiggle
point.
physics, put jiggle physics on the balls.
Now I've got my window module.
Oh, wait. He was kind of... That looked like snapping.
will we get from that? Let's find out.
Yeah.
More Anton.
I saw just for a moment the way he was moving it almost looked like snapping.
Enormous levels.
I can't see, but they were moving kind of like this. Like jittery, like it was snapping to a grid.
You have to have a lot of, if you're an
They were snapping in the beginning too? Okay. Interesting then. That's good. Obviously they put it in because there's no way a guy makes a piano without it.
They give you good screenshots. Look, another good
He's created a quick... That's probably he just dragged this asset in as a character.
Why does it look good?
So here's another thing. Can I program my own AI into it? Like, can I put in... Make my own rig? Like, obviously they're gonna provide you with normal, like simple ones like humanoid. But can I create my own rig that can be applied to any object and then give it its own behaviors? Or am I going to be stuck with sassy and
I feel like you would
stompy?
be stuck with what they have, but who knows? Like, this is looking crazy robust.
Detailed, but we wanted to show this general volume of the space.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
maybe the third one down just to be.
Yeah, I'd imagine it would take some time to learn all the functions because there's so many variables.
I don't know how successful this will be. But
Oh, there you go. There, he was just the way he was making that. He was able to make it grid style. Yeah, here's some true form.
But I want to be able to see the grid.
You could probably see it, I bet. I bet you can turn it on.
Okay.
Look, if you can turn those on,
Yeah.
like, I'm sure you can turn on the grid. This is so addictive to watch, too. People are going to create... There's going to be artists who do streams with this that people will just... There could be a new generation of Twitch streamer for artistry.
Absolutely.
Here. Like, already people draw and stream it, but, like, this is going to become, I think, for some people...
You bet I am, says Ratty.
Yeah.
I'm already to have fog controlling the direction of the sun, and then we're starting to introduce.
It's really addictive. I don't want to stop watching to watch this.
Who is this guy?
Just an intern.
Yeah, like he's very young.
The other thing I wonder... one thing I'm worried about though is these things, like the PlayStation, like on Vive, I'd be like, you know, this is going to be incredible.
Yeah.
Those controllers are not the best when it comes to precision, and they can feel a little floaty sometimes.
It looks like you can get pretty good at it.
I'm sure you can, but still, there'll be times, like, if you were to, like, switch immediately, like we did on the show, go from one to the other, we quickly, you're like, oh my god, this feels just so nice.
Yeah.
You can see, if you want to fake a rain, you use again the painterly tools and emit brush strokes.
You can use DualShock 4 or Move controllers.
Ah.
Yeah, I saw them in one of the streams. They had the controller, but nobody used it. Everyone's been using these.
I want to know if you can.
From
I want to know if you can get down to vertice editing with this. Like, can you get right down to the individual vertices and like drag those around and do really hyper detailed stuff? Obviously, the game's going to be limited by some things like vertice count and stuff like that, poly count, but it's PlayStation. Like, look what it's been able to do. Those counts will probably be super high.
You see how you delete?
Well, it's almost like we did 2 cities, and now you're doing one organic city.
Yeah, like these shapes still are very successful.
It just shows, like, why do, you know, why do professional tools have to be so fucking clunky and like, comparing, like, Final Cut to Adobe Premiere. Final Cut has been, with its new iteration of Final Cut Pro X, like, they took out so many features so that they could build it from the ground up, and I've been suffering because I'm missing a lot of features I was used to over these last 5 years, but they're slowly putting them back in there, though. But I could have switched over to Adobe After Effects, or I mean Adobe Premiere, and had all my everything that I was used to. I'd have to relearn how to use it, kind of, but I'd be able to have all that stuff. But Adobe Premiere is just such a fucking pain to be in. It's just like, it feels painful to be there. It's not fun. It doesn't feel good. Final Cut Pro has this, like, everything just flows really nicely and has this really nice feeling, and it matters.
Yeah.
People act like, oh, if you're a professional, you don't give a shit about all that consumer bullshit. Like, you'll suffer and you'll like it and you'll be a professional for doing it. It's like, I don't buy that. I think that the experience within the application can actually, with creatives, create a better end product.
Yeah, but these bits
When it's a joy to be in. Oh my god. Yeah, GarageBand compared to, like, say, Pro Tools. Those Pro Tools is one of the most god-awful looking things I've ever... It just hurts to look at. It's so
Really?
ugly.
And
then,
how much does that cost?
oh, so much. So much money. And then you look at something like FL Studio or something that's put everything together in an intuitive way, even though that's become a bit of a tire fire with how many features they added. But making a program that's fun to be in and feels good to do stuff in says a lot, I think, for what will get created.
Right.
the sun and
One.
well, yeah, basically you can start toning
What?
stuff down and you get close.
Oh, I was just gonna say, one thing I was wondering watching this is, can you change where the light source comes from and how many light
Oh,
sources you have?
definitely, yeah, definitely.
And then he said something about the sun.
Yeah, you could do all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because that has...
Yeah.
Baked lighting look completely possible. You just tone down, like Anthony said, the light, and then you manually paint your objects to have a light direction in
Cool.
them.
So I'm gonna do something that.
Oh, he's saying you have baked-in lighting, which could allow you to have a lot more freedom and control over what you're doing
Something cute. Did you guys know?
on an object basis, or create something that just looks completely wrong because the lighting doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So there's a magic angle called 137.5. It's the golden angle. It's the basis of how all. Well,
How is this not nominated for anticipated? Yeah, I can see it not winning, because clearly everybody doesn't, not that many people care about this type of stuff. They want their God of War and stuff, but how is it not nominated, right? Like, how did some things get nominated and others don't?
Yeah.
It's funny see it happen to Media Molecule. Man, how many of these have they done? Look at this.
Jesus.
And they've been doing them since March. This is a character jam. They're just creating characters.
I'll put a shout out. Okay.
So they started with like a basic rig. They took in the actual rigged model and then built on it. Whereas the guys on the previous thing created it first and then added the rig.
Oh, that's quite. That'll do, isn't it? Let's do it.
You think this will win biggest impact when it's released?
Start to 11.
It's a game changer,
I feel
I
like
think.
it should.
This changes everything.
Yeah.
I think this is going to inspire a whole new generation of kids like who are interested in like creative work.
Yeah. The hairy balls weird me out.
The what?
The hairy balls?
Where's the hairy balls?
The like little...
Oh, the little guys that you're using?
Yeah.
They look really happy to be doing whatever they're doing.
Yeah. I find them distracting though.
Rub me on its face. Rub me up against its face. We like to rub things.
Professional. No slippers.
I love that you can add a different colored shape, and then the shape's color blends into whatever it's going to be combined with. And then you could repaint it if you wanted anyways, but it's neat that it just like does it automatically.
I could think of them more like tribbles instead of balls.
Look, you could create stylized stuff like that. If you stay stylized, you can do anything, right?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I'm just really
fuck,
interested to
that's
see
cool.
like who's gonna like. There's gonna be people who make. They made them super stompy. So if they said that you can import stuff, then that is an opportunity for developers, like people, to actually create rigs out of the game and actually program new AI using a program like. I wonder if they'll do that. Like, so obviously you're not going to code on a PlayStation, but maybe coders outside the game could like submit rigs and personalities to the game after the fact.
Sorry. Of course you can change the light source because they put lights in the jack-o'-lantern. If you could mix and match with Blender, that would expand this so much.
I bet you, like they said that if they said that close up of the hairy ball is really funny.
Gift that.
Gift that.
Oh look, look at that! You can eat those strawberries. Yum,
No, you can't.
These people are in the right industry.
Uh-huh.
Did she say fuck?
I don't know.
That's all part of the cool crowd. We were also the people who were cool as well. Yeah, it was
Oh, they did a train jam.
Oh, wow.
These are things, that's a thing, train jams. You travel from one city to another and you make a game during the trip. By the end of the trip, you'll have a game.
Oh, but I want to look outside.
So we had like a.
No looking outside.
But I.
They made a game together, and
Okay.
some people have never made games before, and you can just join up and you say, "Oh, you're a programmer. Can you help me make a game?" And there's such a wealth of experience and expertise there. And snow's coming down.
Oh, that was really cool. Yeah. I was like, how did you do?
I thought that was some kind of mountain of food.
Oh, so snow is. Yeah, Double Fine and collated basically a load of speed running. Killed all of them.
They've only got 18,000 subscribers.
No, you've ruined it.
That's crazy. They got Double Fine in. They use Wirecast.
Actually, just lightning.
They brought Double Fine in to make things.
That is fucking cool.
It's all, yeah, it's a slide. It's all about after the action has happened is the best story in the environment.
It's very nice to use the pieces
Of the different levels.
Oh, the different stuff.
Yeah, the different stuff. You're gonna have to
No,
pull
but
up.
no, start with your redwood and then have that.
So maybe John start with the redwood and then I'll start. I'll mash it.
This is so
I think they're browsing the assets that other people have created there. All right, we should wrap
Oh
this
my
up.
God,
I could watch this forever,
seriously.
man.
Me
This is so
too.
interesting. My God.
Yeah. That was kind of a weird segment.
What?
How long we spend just watching.
Mm-hmm.
That, but oh my God,
All right, I gotta get out of here.
it's fascinating.
Thanks for watching, guys. This was our PlayStation Experience show. I've got to get a show and trailer together for coming up soon. So I hope you'll tune into that. Also, I'm gonna send up that Awesome Piece Theater right after the show. It's already up and ready to go, and so I'll just post it now. All right, see you guys. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.